looks like
that went very badly.
It's an insane pimple.
It was blind, but it was like stupidly big and really, really sore.
What do you mean blind? Like you just couldn't see it?
Like it doesn't break the
showing.
skin. Yeah, but I tried anyway because it was just giving me so much pain. To my regret. What's up, guys?
Hi, Punk Raj.
Hi, Punk Raj. Batman v Joker and Alex Allen.
Yo, Punk Raj, is it like 4:30 or something?
Yeah.
5 a.m.
What are you doing up, huh?
No, he does always try.
Yeah, I know. We love you for it, but gotta also take care of
stayed
yourself.
Punk Raj, are you like routinely staying up
Yeah.
to do this? We've got to do different times.
Yeah, I gotta figure something else out.
So hard to match times across the world.
Oh yeah. 3:30 a.m. when podcast is, bruh.
Yeah, that's right. I went to bed at like 2 a.m. last night.
Yeah, no, same. And the previous night I only got like 4 or 5 hours as well because daylight savings.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, no, I was like super fucked up.
So yeah, that would have happened yesterday.
Yeah, and then I still couldn't sleep even tonight.
Wow, yeah, I didn't notice at all.
Yeah. Me and Zephyr were like whole day. So, man, why are we so fucking tired? I swear we didn't lose like that much sleep last night. I was like, oh right, lost an hour.
Guys, we're doing okay.
Yeah, doing all right. Not too bad.
Up and down month. I mean, we only had one video do well, but at the same time, we're still doing fine, which is good.
Just get all you like can't talk about it in depth, but basically figuring out some stuff with like ad placement and shit.
I checked the ads.
Yeah, you figured out a method that helps us.
Well, especially on the older videos, because like some of the older videos were like so poorly like monetized. Like some of the earlier videos we had like 3 ads on them. Because I just didn't know. I was just trying to be like nice.
Yeah. It's like, I don't want to show them too many ads.
I had like 7 minutes pop.
Yeah.
And then when we found out YouTube doesn't show those ads, I was like,
well, not always.
Well, yeah. It's 1 out of less than 4.
Damn.
It's like 4.5 or something.
Fuck.
On average. Well, to be fair though, that's not YouTube's fault. That's because people skip them so much.
It's just they're just putting in an algorithm.
Yeah.
Trying to automate it.
Which just depends on who's gonna actually skip the ad or whatever. But the point is the older videos are making a little bit more money, so we had a little bit of a respite this month.
Yeah. Courtney, I don't think we do the Scream franchise, if I'm being honest. Thank you, Blair.
Thank you so much for the super chat, Blair.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. It hopefully especially like this month, like because we had 2 financially successful months in a row. I mean successful in the sense that we're like could pay all of our salary. But 2 months in a row is obviously a good start. If we get 3 months in a row, that's a pattern. So any and all support this month is obviously huge, but obviously I'm really hoping that we can just have like 4 or even like 2 really solid movies this month. I'm like, that'll carry us.
Yeah, true.
Hopefully.
Oh, and me just having
having more time.
Another job is also helping massively because I don't need to take as much out of a paycheck.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Part of the reason we're financially successful is because he's not taking as much money.
Basically doing this part-time now.
Yeah, you've half switched vocation.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm like half back.
I'm just the talent. I just show up and I perform and then I leave.
Well, Ben, I appreciate that you liked our Toy Story video.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope
didn't do super great.
Yeah, I hope you don't like the sequels that much.
Yeah.
We ain't doing them.
Well, I have a fucking funny theory. I reckon Toy Story 2, which
is
way more yeah, because again, especially with that audit, they introduced a female character.
They introduced the same thing with Ice Age and Toy Story. But the second movie, they introduced a female character and it was a little bit closer to the actual age demographic that we have.
Precisely.
Yeah, it makes more sense.
Would have been weird to skip straight to the sequels.
Yeah, of course. Look, it's possible we'll do the rest of Toy Story and Ice Ages, but the first ones for those franchises so bad.
Oh, they flopped hard.
So rough. Yeah, you know, another thing about Scream, I watched, like, I know that the opening scene is iconic. I know what it is. I knew what it was before I ever watched the franchise, but we sat down to try to watch Scream like a few months ago.
When you say we,
me and Maria.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
I got like 10 minutes into the movie and I was like, nah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not into it.
No, that's fair.
I've seen enough of this. You can call it satire all you want. I don't really care what you're satirizing. Obviously, it's other horror movies, but it's just like
it's too close to home.
A little.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen enough regular people doing regularly horrible things or come across, and not murder, just to be clear. But,
yeah, but just sketchy shit like that.
Some sketchy shit. And I was like, I don't need this amped up an extra factor for,
Well, it's like
my viewing, but
I guess a little bit like Breaking Bad for
Yeah, it's
You've
a little
been too close to the real thing to be like, oh yeah, this is just fun. It's just fun times.
Yeah, it's not fun. Yeah. Hang on. How's the weather? It's getting warm, dude.
Yeah, it's
real warm.
Humid today, at least this morning. Sun's coming out. Even yesterday, there's the fucking wind. It was windy as shit, but it was hot wind. Like a heated fan.
You know those days when it's so hot, you're like, I want to open the window and cool down. And then the wind is hotter than out.
Yeah.
Like inside, and it smacks you in the face, and it's like a heat demon is trying to crawl its way inside your mouth.
Yeah. I went for a walk with Zephyr last night and thought I would just go for a nice walk, just cool off and shit. Came back sweatier than when we left.
Yeah. Halloween's not really a thing.
Well,
in Australia, it's becoming slightly more of a thing, I think. But the problem is, it's becoming more popular. Australia overall is becoming, on average, poorer.
Yeah.
Basically, the rich people are getting rich. Yeah. Australia's trying to follow the American example.
Yeah.
So now Australia's finally starting to get into Halloween, but no one can afford to actually do it.
Yeah. And I can see, I have a running theory as to why, because I remember when we were like coming up, me and a lot of other people I knew my age really loved the idea of Halloween, but all the adults would tell us that's an American thing. We don't do that. We don't do that here. You'd go to someone's house, you try to trick or treat, and half the time you would get turned out and be like, "This isn't America, kid. We get out of here."
A lot of Australians actively hate anything American.
Yeah, they really dislike it. So it's funny because I think a lot of those kids have now grown up and have kids of their own, and they're like, "Yeah, let's do Halloween, guys!" And they're getting their kids into it.
That's cool. Yeah,
it's pretty cool to see.
The Australian kids who grew up with American movies,
pretty much. Yeah, who grew up with a lot of American media.
Hang on. So I'm newer to your channel. Appreciate you, Courtney.
Welcome.
Going back and binging older videos. Yeah,
cool.
Rewatching old videos is pretty much like. That's what keeps the channel alive.
Yeah,
literally it's we make more money from old videos than new videos.
The biggest help. It's why we wanted to put out like not like as much content as possible.
We definitely did the opposite of that.
But we were trying even from the
we wanted to get to a point.
We need to establish a backlog because long-term content is how your channel survives.
And pretty much that's the secret to like social media success over the long term. It's not about virality. It's about people continuing to enjoy your content like after the fact.
After the fact,
we put a good amount of effort into trying to make sure our videos are still fun like a year, 2, 3 years later or whatever,
Like I'll give you an example. I don't think Cody Co's gotten as much views as like the peak of his channel in years. Fucker still has a beachfront property.
Oh, absolutely. Dude, I think if he started getting an average of like 100,000 views on like 10-minute videos, he'd still probably be fine.
Yeah.
And for the record, 100,000 views on a 10-minute video is going to equal like $100.
Yeah.
It's jack.
Yeah.
Just to be clear. Yeah. I love to see you do Scream. It's not even Yes, well, it's not. You can't say it's about slashers because that's not it at all. I love slasher movies. I think that most slasher movies are wildly ridiculous.
Yeah.
The problem with Scream is that I think it's because it's trying to satirize horror movies that were taking it seriously. It then takes the same like storyline approach. Whereas with with horror franchises that like why would you satirize Chucky?
Yeah, it basically is a satire.
Yeah, what are you gonna satirize? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like that's a slasher movie that I fucking love.
Yeah, I think it was a weird combo of like they were trying to make a satire. Most people didn't even realize it was a satire because
it's just a good horror movie.
They just did it so well.
Yeah, totally.
That opening scene is fucking intense.
Yeah,
and in a like, this is like feels very real kind of way.
Well, that's kind of that's what I mean. I'm like. I've been around terrified women enough, man. How many more of this?
Yeah.
Anyway, love the Tarzan video. Thank you so much, Jen. Yeah, it's pretty intense. It's true. Yeah. Well, the fuck, I had the stream open before it started. It just never started.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Sucks. Well, I'm glad you're here now.
We've definitely had technical difficulties with this for sure.
Talia's here. Yeah, she's been working this Sunday evenings, Sunday mornings, Sunday. Whatever the time when we stream. She's been working. Okay. Yeah. But it's nice if you could tune in here and there. Obviously, good to see you, Talia. To this day, my mom keeps confusing Scream with Scary Movie. Fair enough.
Well, yeah, that was another.
One's a satire, one's a parody. The parody
of a satire.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
God damn it, guys.
Yeah, which is weird.
I don't know if they knew that at the time. They didn't feel like the people making Scary Movie knew that Scream was a satire.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense because I think a lot of people didn't.
I think a lot of people did.
Honest to God, even when I first freaking watched it, I was like, and I hadn't been told it was a satire. I watched it, I was like, wait, they're taking the piss. Totally. How is this not obvious?
Yeah. Have you tried the new ones 5 and 6? 5 and 6 of what?
Scream.
Oh, of Scream?
Yeah.
I literally watched like the first bit and I was like, nah.
I watched the first one. That's it.
Maria loves them though.
Yeah.
33 people watching, but not even 10 likes. Yeah.
Anyway,
look, not everybody remembers. I get it.
It just doesn't, occur naturally to people. That's why you always get people who like smash that like button.
Yeah,
it's cheesy, but you know what? People need reminding.
Well, to a degree. I mean, we never have calls to action.
No, fair, yeah.
But I just don't like. I feel like for the most part, when if people like it, they'll do the thing.
No, for sure, yeah.
Jenna's here. What's up, Jenna?
Yo.
Been a little while. Finally managed to catch one of your streams again. It's been some stressful but exciting couple of weeks. I moved to another city and gonna start a new job this week. Damn. Okay.
Well done.
Fuck yeah.
Good move. I hope
new job, new city.
Hope it plays out well,
I hope you make some nice new friends. Because I mean, moving to a new city, you're gonna have to do that, obviously. But fuck yeah.
Just moving alone is a bitch.
What city did you move to?
Yeah.
Screens I've been seeing was inspired by a 70s movie called When a Stranger Calls. Sure.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
That was Craven. The later Scream movies. It's just different without him. I mean, yeah.
I do love Wes Craven. I do love The Thing. The Thing is probably one of my favorite horror movies ever.
Sure.
God, so good.
Yeah. Scream seems super difficult to talk through too. I recently watched Scream and loved it because of the same reason I love Mean Girls. They're part of the genre, point out its problems at the same time. Totally. But I get the impression. I mean, I'd have to go and actually watch it, but I do get the impression Scream would probably be somewhat dialogue heavy.
It's pretty dense
because it's like a 90s teen movie as much as it's a horror movie.
Yep.
Yeah. Any old movies coming up for Lose Overboard, Pretty Woman. Pretty Woman is the only one on that list that like has held up enough. Like, no, I don't mean like in terms of like this problematic. No. I just like in terms of like the movie being good enough to like hold our audience or whatever. Look at it this way: Toy Story and Aladdin and Ice Age are all hugely popular movies from like the mid 90s. They did not do well for us. Pretty Woman is also a hugely popular movie from just slightly before that, and it might do well. Things like Footloose and Overboard. And man, we'll just give up on YouTube altogether.
Yeah. That will be when we are 100% just not really making any money from it, and it's purely a hobby.
Like if you see stuff like Footloose, it's because we've given up on trying to earn money.
Yeah, I'm trying money. Yeah, we both got full-time jobs, and we just do this shit on the side for fun.
I'll be honest, if we have both our full-time jobs, I have no idea how we could possibly do this.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe part-time jobs. Just sorry because I looked at a thing and reacted. I got mixed up with John Carpenter and Wes Craven.
Oh yeah, totally.
John Carpenter is the thing. That's my bad.
No, that makes sense.
I'm not good with remembering directors. I just like movies. I'm not one of those people who like remembers all the directors and stuff and like goes to them.
And guys, we don't do holiday themed movies.
No,
like if we do those movies, they just won't be specifically in time for those holidays.
Yeah, just not in line with the holidays. We don't try to time it with it because it just doesn't play out.
It's a trap.
Yeah,
it's a trap. Yeah. Indiana is finally supposed to start feeling like fall next week. Good for you.
That's good.
Calming down, huh?
Yeah, fall's nice.
You guys planning on doing red, white, and royal blue? Probably not.
Oh no, it's a Netflix. like movie,
It's
right?
like,
It's a direct streaming movie.
Like, we just
Yeah.
don't have the luxury to be taking chances on things that we
Mm.
don't know. Like think about it like this. We didn't take any risks over the last like 3 months, and we still had videos fail.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I know, like, that's to be expected. Like, but it's like, if we're, you know, if we're taking risks, it's like,
I honestly feel like that kind of mini era of Netflix adaptation of popular rom-com book series really that peaked with To All the Boys, and it did well for us, but it didn't do spectacularly well either, you know? So everything lesser than that is kind of like, yeah, that's just average, you know, dipping into insufficient.
If the best movie out of all of those movies did okay,
yeah,
and then it was 2 sequels did not good,
yeah,
it doesn't bode well for everything else.
Doesn't, yeah, not really worth it for us to risk it on that.
Liana says, been rewatching a lot lately. Y'all are definitely comfort. Thank you so much. As we say every time, rewatching pretty much that's where it's at. Well, not. I mean, obviously, watching the video in the first place.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Also, watch our new content if you want.
Basically, just our content gaining minutes is good.
Yeah.
Every time Steph shows up late, I like to think of Julie Andrews' meme: "A queen is never late. Everybody else is simply early."
Nice. Although I'm non-binary, I'd consider myself royal.
Hey there, it's Israel again. It sure is Israel. What's up?
Hey, how you going?
You want to do any Tim Burton movies?
Okay,
again, the 4 Halloween doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know. I don't know if there's even outside of the like Tim Burton only likes white people. Which Tim Burton movies would we even really do?
Yeah, because this was something.
Edward Scissorhands would make sense if YouTube is just like 15 years ago.
Yeah. The audience was 15 years older.
Look, Edward Scissorhands was a cult classic back in the day. You know what I mean? And I can't think of any other
now.
Tim Burton movies that we would do. We're not doing the Batmans.
You could say Nightmare Before Christmas, but this is even something that occurred to me even before Sam brought up. As I know, it's actually like surprisingly more niche than you realize.
Oh yeah,
it is a stupidly short movie, and most of it is music, and we have to cut the fuck out of music in order to not get, you know, claimed and demonetized and shit on it. So yeah, I really don't know what we'd end up left with.
Yeah,
you know,
what would be left? Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, which would probably piss off a lot of the diehard fans who would be the main source of income from that movie.
Would you guys ever consider watching TV shows? No,
not here.
Look, it's complicated, but we talk about this literally every stream.
Yeah,
it's just too much to do. Are you guys gonna do Jumanji 2? Yeah, very soon. Yeah.
Just gave up.
It's just semantics. What kind of Halloween films do you think of? Oh, dude, yeah, we're not doing movies for Halloween.
Yeah.
Like, we'll do movies in Halloween.
Yeah, do any
Halloween
movies. Halloween. We'll do Halloween Town, Halloween genre movies, but just not specific to the date.
Still can't get over how Rosa Diaz actress is the same one who voices Mirabelle in Encanto. Yeah, Stephanie Beatrice is amazing. The only thing I can't get over is when I heard her real voice for the first time, because I've been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine for like 5 years by that point. And then you hear Stephanie in the interview and she starts talking like, "That's how you actually talk?"
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
The fucking voice she put on for her undercover bit. Yeah. That's her real voice. The Rosa voice is fake. She sounds more like Mirabelle in real life.
Yeah. Mr. Cole, strangely glad to have been able to catch this one. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. 5 and 6, especially 6 was it used to
Scream, yeah.
Because at a certain point, I'd have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention the Signs as a movie. Wait, as a horror movie?
Oh yeah, Signs. It's more of a thriller. More like not outright. I mean, there's one scene that definitely is a bit more horror on the horror side. Literally got a jump scare and everything, but definitely more of a thriller. You know.
Yeah. I fucking love how stupid the result of that movie is. They're allergic to water.
Yeah.
They came to a planet that's like 80% water.
You guys really should have checked that shit out before you fucking
hilarious. Yeah. Although I hate the style of humor scary movies uses. They have many good scenes, like the one where they pretend to not notice the ghost while recreating paranormal activity.
Oh, I didn't watch the later scary movies. I only watched.
I watched the first two. maybe.
I think I watched up to 4, but I barely remember 4.
Original Jumanji is just gonna come a little bit later. Obviously, the next newer one, and then we'll get to the original one in a month or so.
Yeah.
Is Ted Lasso good? Maria likes it. You know. I think your guys' audience is too split now. It is and it's not.
Yeah.
It's slightly, and it really is somewhat just an age demographic thing. Like if we put out an older classic movie, it really mostly just gets seen by the older portion of our audience, which is a little less than half. And that's fine, but at least with the newer movies, both the young people and the older audience members will go and watch it. So it's tough because, like, for us, we will totally watch movies that were before our time, but apparently not everybody else will.
No, unfortunately. What can you do? And it's just a result of there's only so many movies, and then you add in the fact that some studios will just manually claim us no matter what. Yeah, so we just have to steer clear of them completely.
Been somewhat difficult with Universal. Like as examples of early 2000s movies that are like Step Up and She's the Man are both Universal and or DreamWorks. She's the Man is DreamWorks. That's the problem.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yep. So it limits the pool of choice, you know, which splits our audience a bit.
Yeah, there's quite a few things, especially with movies. There's so many there's so many movies. It's really hard. It's we're trying. I haven't honestly no clue what movies are popular at this point. I just know what I like and what I grew up with. I hear you to a degree. I mean, we do obviously have a pretty solid idea of what movies are popular overall. And we do occasionally just check the old how much money it made list. And by how much money it made, I do not mean in profit. I just mean in overall sales. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. How many butts did it put in seats?
Yeah. I don't care if it made $100 million like profit on its budget. If it was like a $30 million film. Yeah. No one saw it.
And even then, like, some people will
at least currently.
Yeah.
In the last 10, 15 years.
People will point out like a cult classic that accumulated a shit ton of money over time, but it's like that does not mean that doesn't reflect how many people are currently into that thing, you know.
Yeah, obviously it's a bit of a mixed bag, but yeah, if you diversify your content too much, you will fail.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I've seen it with so many, not just YouTube channels, but just like content creators in general. So many people, they want to try to do wild, like too different of stuff. Yeah. They think, well, I like this stuff. Will be other people who like this stuff too. And I was like, yeah, but they won't all be the same people.
It's gonna sound kind of cheesy, but it's like you actually are a very unique, one of a kind individual. And the more you create content that's just like, oh, it's just things I like, you're just like reducing the number of people according to like how much like you are they. You know?
And it's like realistically, is like all of YouTube like you?
Yeah.
Really?
Even most, even half?
Yeah. You got to play the game, you know? And yet to see the OG Chucky films. Well, you should.
Oh, yeah. They're good. Kind of silly, but good.
Yeah, Chucky is great. Chris, I'm really looking forward to it. Sure. I wouldn't say that comes up in his writing, at least in obvious ways, until later on. But you can notice it if you know what to look for.
Exactly. Earlier if you are, and even just generally,
honestly, the whole story itself makes a lot of sense from the gay perspective.
Oh yeah, it does. It's one of those ones, one of those like sleeper agent ones where, especially if you are queer and you know how to recognize that,
you'll pick it up early
of camp, that flavor of horror. That's very like, you know, that the gays go rabid for. You'll know it and you'll get a lot out of it.
Speaking of which, every era of Chucky is all good except for it was the last movie they made,
Cult,
the Asylum one.
Yeah, Cult of Chucky.
That was the Cult.
Yeah, Cult.
Yeah, that sounds like Cult. That one. Oh, terrible, garbage movie, so bad.
Well, if anything, though, you know, it's the funny thing.
Yeah.
In very broad general terms, I would say like it's the straightest one. It's got the most straight guy energy. It got the most fucking it's got the most kind of fucking like film bro. Yeah. Dude, it's so deep because they do like mental illness and they depict it as evil. Bro.
So not deep at all.
No.
But I'm pretty sure he at the time was like, no, we're losing the faithful Chucky audience. We need to bring them back. And the faithful Chucky audience is middle-aged, like insecure white boy nerds.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah. I wouldn't even be surprised if the studio pushed him for that, being like, no, you gotta You gotta go, man. This is who likes horror films, man.
The studio didn't want him to keep making movies.
Really?
He wanted to keep. Dude, why do you think they made like 6? They were not successful by that point.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
At that point, the studio's like, dude, why are you doing this?
Dumb.
Just go home.
Yeah. Well, then I guess he, probably thought, I've got to reach out to a broader audience, you know.
DJ, it's just a question. Thank you so much for the super chat. Big, big thank you.
Yo,
what are each of your top 3 musical influences? So do you mean specifically artists or just things? I'm assuming you mean artists. If so,
artists. Blink-182, The Darkness, and Kiss. Yeah,
that makes sense. I couldn't give you 3. I have like a million, but it's funny because like Megadeth had a huge impact on me as a musician and songwriter early on, but unless you really, really knew what to look for, you would not hear it in my music today. Do you know what I mean? Warrant, absolutely. More so, you'll hear a lot more Warrant in my songwriting.
Yeah, you will.
Oh, most definitely. A little bit of Thin Lizzy here and there, you'll hear.
Thin Lizzy's also good.
Probably not as blatant because I don't do like the harmonic guitars and stuff.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, in terms of my songwriting, I would say Phil Lynott and Janie Lane from Thin Lizzy and Warrant have made the biggest impact on me. But I've also been listening to Chunk No Captain Chunk a lot more lately. Like they went from being a band I liked to a band I really liked to being like, is this the best band in like all of pop punk and metalcore? Like, nice. I don't know. Yeah, and it happened recently. Like I've been listening to like 10 years, and this is the last album. I was like, damn, guys.
You know what I think is insanely cool? Listening back to, especially now, because now being older and being less like insecure about it, listening back to a lot of those like emo era bands that were popular in 2006, but which at the time I was like, no, I'm gonna listen to that. That's fucking gay.
I listened to them.
Being like super closeted and insecure, and like listening to them now, I mean, like these fuckers were influenced by Thin Lizzy, and these fuckers were influenced by Queen, and you can hear it.
My Chemical Romance is such a rock band.
Yeah, it's just fucking Queen.
They're not even punk.
Yeah,
no. There's nothing emo or punk about My Chemical Romance except for the look.
Well, I would actually
the actual music. No, it's pretty much all Queen.
Yeah,
like a little bit of like I guess like 80s horror punk. There's definitely some like Misfits influence. It's more in the storytelling.
I would call it goth punk.
Yeah,
you know, like
it's
not really punk, but like in terms of like that just slight, goth rock.
I'd be happy with goth rock. Honestly, just rock.
Yeah, it is. They are pretty much just a gothy rock band.
They're not really gothic.
Yeah, no, it's just the aesthetics.
It's just the aesthetic.
In terms of the music, if you listen to goth music, actual goth music doesn't sound anything like that.
So different.
It's just a rock band with a very goth aesthetic. Yeah, you know?
And I do find it funny that they're labeled as like the emo band. Yeah, like not really emo.
Gerard Way hated that label.
Yeah, I know. I'm
he
sure
hated being called an emo. He was
partly
like,
because he wasn't in that scene, and I think he like didn't want to disrespect that scene. Also, he's like, look, I do different things. They do different things. That's cool.
Oh yeah. Keep in mind, just for anybody who doesn't know like some music history, the emo music, actual emo genre of music, is completely different. It's a totally other thing that happened. When was it? Like
in the 90s.
In the 90s.
Started in the 80s, but
started in the 80s.
90s.
Yeah, in the early 90s and so. And
what we came in the 2000s came across.
Pretty much everything that we refer to as emo, at least in a modern context,
it's pop punk.
Well, it's part of the scene that was emo. Emo was a social movement. It wasn't a music movement by the 2000s.
Which I'm fine with.
You know, like Paramore, Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco, none of these are actually emo bands. They were adopted by the emo subculture, but not the musical genre.
Fall Out Boy is closer to hardcore than emo.
Yo, much closer.
Hilarious.
Much closer.
Pete Wentz is an actual hardcore kid.
Basically just a pop punk band.
Yeah. Speaking of amazing timing splintered edits, first of all, thank you for the super chat. Always
thank you.
Huge deal. And yes, Maze Runner is literally the next.
That's the last thing we recorded. Yeah.
We're currently finishing the Maze Runner. Well, continuing to work on the Maze Runner video. It's like 2000. Yeah. But that'll be the next one. Actually, the plan is essentially like Maze Runner 1 and then Jumanji 2.
Yeah.
And then I guess we'll see how we're doing for views.
Yeah.
And then probably, the next Maze Runner, stuff like that. But I even just recently talked about because in Buffy, Xander's having a sad moment, and I'm just like, and he's like, I'm gonna go home and listen to was it the music of pain? It's country music.
Yeah.
I was like, don't worry, man. Emo's just around the corner.
Nice. Yeah.
You're in California.
Yeah,
the Midwest is not that far away.
Yeah.
You know, literally, American Football's first album came out like 6 months after he said that thing. I was like,
brilliant.
You know, perfect timing. Buddy.
Brilliant.
Anyway, Spider-Verse. Yeah.
Love Spider-Verse.
It's a great movie. Yeah.
I'm literally there. We had a big fucking in-depth discussion about it last time, where I'm still kind of on the like, I cannot count it as the best animated or superhero movie I can ever see because it's not done. The second part will determine everything.
I'm half with you on that one.
Yeah.
I definitely do need. Well, it's not about whether that is like I definitely need to see the second half to see how it goes. But there are a couple of decisions in the first half, and I was like,
yeah, fair enough.
And again, not from a writing perspective.
Yeah.
So we did talk about
this. Yeah, no, we talked about it.
But,
don't worry about it.
Yeah, the Halloween Town movies are an option. Maybe.
Yeah, no, they've come up a lot as just like a popular decom period, you know?
Yeah.
Not even acknowledging the Halloween theme.
Indeed. People think we're early because daylight savings.
Oh, yeah. Right. No, we're not early.
No.
You gotta set your clock forward.
This is
forward.
No, they don't have to set shit. Our time is different to their time now.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, you're right. It would be because we're a day ahead. Yeah. Right.
It's classic.
Fuck daylight saving. Just put a 13th month in the year. God damn it.
Yeah. Look, we don't do holiday themed movies.
Yeah. Nah.
We probably do Halloween Town at some point.
Oh yeah.
Not for like October. This was definitely not happen, but Die Hard reaction was that. Yeah, you're right. It definitely will not happen.
Totally which sucks. Such a good movie.
Also, how could that? It's Die Hard. Do you think we haven't seen Die Hard?
Yeah, come on, bro.
I appreciate you, dude. But
yeah, love you, but come on. And also, fucking bummer because again, Die Hard's another one of those ones where I love it, but I'm so aware of the culture that like venerates it.
Yeah.
For all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're like you almost don't want people to know you're a Die Hard fan because it associates you with other Die Hard fans.
Pretty much.
It's like listening to Slipknot
or Fight Club. You know, where it's just like the intention. Totally missed.
I would factor Five Finger Death Punch into there. Oh, they got a couple songs I'm like I don't mind listening to, but would never actually say, hey guys. Let's talk about Five Finger Death Punch as friends.
If you purely look at it as a just like riffs and hooks and shit like that,
I don't like the band.
But yeah, no, I was gonna say like even just the lyrical content and stuff is like oh.
Well, that's the thing. What they when they first came out, they had a couple songs. I was like, that's pretty cool, and then I never listened to them again. So
yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah. I did like Wrong Side of Heaven, Righteous Side of Hell. That's a good song, and the music video was actually like pretty good.
I don't recall.
Yeah,
I mean, I know what it is. So it's not my thing. So.
It was it was my first introduction to it because it was about mental illness in veterans and stuff, and I was like, oh, that's pretty fucking cool. Yeah, it's a good thing to like talk about. And then I find out that it's like, oh no, you guys are full on bootlickers. You guys are full on like. You say like, yeah, rock and roll is rebelling against the man. They are the man. They love the man.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I think Death Punch is totally. They are the man.
Yeah.
Leanne. The thing is, I don't think the more popular movie is, the better the movie does. People click on reactions to things they feel are unappreciated. Classic Disney movies are beloved, but we're not creating validation for them. That applies to you.
Yeah.
Not the audience overall.
Yeah.
I appreciate what you're trying to say, but it's just not true.
Yeah.
And no, it's not like the more popular the movie is overall. It's the more popular the movie is within the right time period, within like the niches that our audience will be interested in.
Yeah.
It's very specific.
Well, to put it in a sentence, popular does not mean successful, and successful does not mean popular.
Absolutely.
You know, something that people are like, man, that's this fucking movie sucked. It's like, yeah, but it got like 50 sequels.
Yeah,
but it just keeps going, and they keep making money every damn time. What's it? The Nun. The Nun is a garbage movie, but it's one of the highest grossing horror movies of all time, and the sequel is only like 2 steps behind it. It's in the top 10, I'm pretty sure.
None of that really has to do with whether people will actually watch the video.
No, for sure. It's just talking about popularity and stuff, and your perception of what is popular, what is good. It's just a similar thing I had to kind of see past when started doing this and realizing, oh, like I'm
Just
way
because
more
you
niche.
and all your friends like it doesn't mean people in general like
Me and
it.
my group of friends are way
Sure.
more niche than I realized, you know, and it applies to everybody.
It does seem like a different sort of point, but
yeah, sorry, just slightly to the left of that.
But yeah, it's like the what you're posing here is it would basically just lead us to cult classics, and they do fail.
Yeah,
not like, oh, I feel like a cult classic might not do. No, they fail.
No, they do badly for us.
Look at me, fail.
Yeah. Right, Splintered gave us a super chat. Sorry for doing this twice. I love yours. That's cool. You don't have to apologize. Oh, just say sorry for giving us money.
Did you just apologize for giving us money?
Dude, it's so cool. It's so cool for you to do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
You know,
yeah, we really appreciate you super chatting. By the way, I'm getting real warm. I'm gonna change my shirt.
Anybody giving us anything they can, you know, whenever they can, that's always appreciated, you know? Never a bad thing. Okay, I'm gonna grab this. Things sound like Sound of Music. Hell no, Sound of Music would not do well. Way too old. Love to all the boys series rewatch sometimes. Awesome. Thanks for doing it. Never knew of it before you posted. That's super cool. I like hearing about people finding out about movies through us. That's really mad. Nightmare Before Christmas is directed by Henry Selick, not Tim Burton. Yeah, but it was based on Tim's idea. Tim did a book, you know. And he's really a part of it.
Well, it's still a Tim Burton movie.
It's still a Tim Burton movie. I'm excited for more Greek Wedding, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully we'll do that. We'll do that soon. Get around to the second one at least. Talking to each other. Scissorhands amazing. Maybe Corpse Ride now. Same problem again.
The worst thing than Nightmare.
Corpse Ride is overall less, you know, has less of a legacy behind it. And again, stupidly short. Stupidly short.
Yeah.
To the point where it's like I don't know what would be left.
And I'm almost worried if we did something like Corpse Bride, we end up with like a 30-minute video and it would not get views or money because it's so far outside what we normally do.
Yeah. You can gradually make your content shorter, but if you suddenly do it, all YouTube sees is, whoa, people are only watching your content for half as long as they normally do. Yeah. That's so crazy. I guess this video must be terrible.
Yeah. Coraline is Universal?
Yes. It's Universal. We can't do it. Zzavid and a bunch of other people had problems with it.
Jackie's on the TV shows. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Put them in line.
Ruza in Brooklyn Nine-Nine sounds like that because Stephanie was sick at the time of her audition and her voice was shot to hell. That's how she got the role. Oh, that's hilarious. I would have assumed she did it on purpose, but okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. Batman, so I'm a huge horror movie fan. Fair enough. Red Wine Royal Blues on Prime, not likely. It's a great little one, but doing viral if you change your mind.
Oh yeah, streaming movie, I guess. You know, potato, really.
So I appreciate you, but that doesn't change anything.
Yeah, same point still stands, unfortunately.
And yeah, it's doing very well for what it is. That doesn't mean it's it's not like making $1 billion or something.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? Not that it needs to make $1 billion, you know.
No, it doesn't need to. It is just, I understand the cultural importance of it. It's like, it's cool that, we're at a point where the gays can just have a crappy B-grade, romance movie, there's almost a weird, we should be able to have those too. It shouldn't have to be a fucking Oscar-winning blockbuster in order to gain validity. It's nice that happens, but we can't really do it.
Yeah, I really wish
because it's a crappy B-grade movie.
Well, yeah, I really wish that the mid and small budget movies still had room to be successful, but the world just isn't set up for it anymore. The entertainment industry is being shifted more and more heavily towards big things, and smaller things are kind of getting shafted, and it kind of shafts us in the process, and you by extension.
There is zero room for the little guy. It's just
it's complicated.
Neil Gaiman put it pretty well when he was talking about the first season of Sandman when that came out, and people were like, "Oh my god, you're gonna do a second season? Is it gonna happen?" And he was literally just flogging it, just hustling hard, being like, "Watch it, rewatch it." Do everything because the way Netflix and all these other streaming companies
Netflix
are,
works on views.
unless it gets a cajillion million fucking views, unless it's the top percentile, they don't greenlight shit. You know,
Netflix don't actually care if they make a profit on something. They only care if they make a big profit on something.
Precisely.
Like if they're gonna break even or make like a little bit of money, they just don't care.
Yeah, and that's becoming really reflective of just the climate
overall.
Yeah,
and I think they're paying for it because people don't have faith in Netflix anymore. I sure as shit don't. I don't expect them to finish any of the series they start.
Nope.
You know what I mean? Like, what's the point of starting to watch a Netflix show now? I started watching. Me and Maria watched Archive 81 a little while back. First season of a Netflix show. It's fucking great. Epic show. Probably not coming back.
Yeah, no.
I mean, hopefully, but like probably not. It's Netflix.
Fucking, and it's like, you see why people like going on strike and shit. Thankfully, that's looks like that's actually getting resolved and shit. But I saw a trailer for this movie called Argyle just last night, just on like a YouTube ad. This CGI looks so terrible. There's just one bit of CGI in it with a cat, and like we're watching The Maze Runner, which is from like 9 years ago. The CGI in The Maze Runner is better than a modern fucking movie. That's crazy.
It's because budgets.
I know, because they're just
the way the problem with the creative industry is how much of these decisions are controlled by non-creative people who do not care.
No,
they only care about how much money gets made.
Don't give a shit.
Recently, we watched the Hunger Games reactions, and they really reignite my love for the series. As a teen, I always love how much the story is centered on the politics of the world. Yeah, it's a really, really great series. I really do hope that we can do the newer one. I assume that we can.
Yeah,
I don't
think so.
I think there's a reason why we can't, but
that should be fine.
Moved to Kiel, a city in northern Germany, right by the coast. Don't know it, but cool.
Coastal towns are my jam.
Yeah, I grew up in that old coastal town. You guys know that. Yeah. The Love Bug, 1968. Nah, man.
No.
Anything pre-1980 is like a hard, absolute, definite no.
I mean, we already have such an iffy thing with like
even 80s,
even early 90s, as we're finding out.
Yeah, I think what's it called? Pretty Woman and Titanic and Romeo and Juliet are the only things left from the 90s where I'm like, I feel pretty solid about those. And everything else, I'm like, I don't know, man.
Again, it's not 100%.
No, they're not even guaranteed. Hell, half the reason I want to do Pretty Woman is just because I want to cover that song, King of Wishful Thinking, and release it simultaneously. I don't even know if I'm going to have time to do that. I just want to. Be nice. Anyway, please watch the movie Not Cinderella's Type from 2018. Huh? I'm sorry.
I guess in our personal time, maybe. Sorry.
Oh, good. Can't wait for the next Jumanji. Yeah, 2 weeks maybe, hopefully. All going well. No copyright, stuff like that. The original Parent Trap, no. Sorry, man. Maria, in light of everything, be more specific.
Yeah.
She's doing well, but like the reality for Maria is that like she's getting acclimated to the YouTube lifestyle and working like all the time. So she's mostly pretty good, but also a little tired and stressed out. We're real short on money, which always brutal, but
yeah,
our family's safe and alive, so
no, that's good.
Completely forgot to say my day state. I was married. Parker, I was just asking the same thing. Still miss both of you doing. I mean, we've been making videos, Parker. We're just doing it on the Buffy channel. The reality is like we knew that Buffy would do well enough out of the gate that we could focus on it straight away and hopefully build up enough income to like, pay our rent or at least continue. Because like obviously between me and Maria making, anyway, we want to get back to our personal channel at some time, but it's going to be basically dependent on like time and money. Like if you see us putting videos on the Sam and Maria channel, one of two things has happened. Either we desperately need to change tactics because we need money and things aren't working out, or things are going really well and we just have time, free time, and all that shit. Have you guys seen that? Yeah, you're new to our channel. We did the Hunger Games.
Yeah, we did.
Always love how Spot went from a goofy clown to a demonic multiverse god. Fair enough. And
that's definitely one of the better parts of the movie, I think.
See, then it's all about the stats. I mean,
it's
somewhat
skill issue.
Not touch, but I just want to drop in and say I love you all and I love y'all's content. It's genuinely makes my day better when I'm feeling down, and also you're planning doing the mystery. Yeah, interesting.
That's really cool to hear, man. Thank you.
Yeah, it's great. So much. Thanks for turning up, and appreciate your support. And it's so interesting that people are asking for the Maze Runner right now, and we're literally doing it.
Yeah,
it's like people weren't asking us for the Maze Runner before.
No.
And now they are. I'm like,
alrighty,
that's fucking perfect.
Well, I've got news for you, buddy.
Yeah, we filmed it like a week ago.
Yeah.
So it should be out hopefully a few days. Oh god. Sorry, I'm gonna have to skip some stuff.
Yeah.
Colt is just so bored. Cult of Chucky, yeah. Shyheim. Hey Shyheim. How you doing, man? How's the channel going, bro? Like I know you've had some ups and downs. Had some issues with your TMNT. That was a bummer, but to be expected though, bro.
Come on. You mayhem? Yeah. I'm sorry, dude.
I love the effort. It's good effort. You think you got it back up, right? Yeah. You won't be streaming on my birthday, but October is my birthday month, and I'll celebrate with you guys. Oh,
happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Talia. I know it's not there quite yet, but when we get there.
Funny, I've got 2 friends who have birthdays in October. Mateo's is tomorrow, and Shari's is a couple of weeks from now.
Turn up your sound on your phone so we can hear it vibrate. Why would you want to hear it vibrate?
Okay.
That's confusing.
No, I won't do that.
Tron. No, it's like a nerd boy sci-fi.
Yeah, quintessential nerd boy. I like the new one for just because Michael Sheen's in it, and he's Michael Sheening. But that's about it.
Sure. Also, Jackie covering the 80s. That's good. Gotta love how Daniel Kaluuya went from horror movies to an animated movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't know.
By the way, also loving this black and white vibe going on. You're going to lose your younger audience with the color scheme.
Oh, right. Just the t-shirt. Well, mine,
give me this.
Mine actually's got green on it. It's just very, faded.
Very
deliberately distressed.
That's funny. I know you're joking, but...
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys, got to go to get dinner together. Oh, yeah. Thanks so much for turning up, Courtney.
Thanks for coming.
Appreciate you.
Sure, you're long gone.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Hereditary. Yeah, goddamn.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm so happy I was able to stop by, say hello. Yeah. Thank you, Courtney. Appreciate you. Have a good Sunday.
Gotcha.
Enjoy your dinner. Caroline was so creepy. Yeah, I actually think the animation style is really creepy.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a good movie.
Just realized you'll change your Toy Story video title. Yeah. If you see a video title change, failure.
Or thumbnail change.
Yeah, any
not doing great.
Any kind of video title or thumbnail changes,
yeah,
we're failing.
It's just us trying to get more views out of it. Even when we changed a bunch of older ones,
we're just trying to see if we could
testing
get
it out,
more people to see them. Yeah. Now that say it, I could see how MCL could be influenced by Queen by the Sound of Music. Oh yeah, it's one of their biggest influences.
Oh yeah. It's if you want to hear the Thin Lizzy influence in a Kiss Chasey song, that song "Swing Swing" on the outro as it's fading out, they do a guitar humming.
Oh, really?
It's just fucking Thin Lizzy. It's just.
I'd have to hear it.
Yeah.
Just keep in mind, there are a lot of other bands that do that.
No, I know. Yeah, fair enough.
Just to be.
But yeah, I'm like, I would.
Well, because there's a lot of guitar players who have literally never heard Thin Lizzy.
True.
And you know what they're influenced by? Iron Maiden or Metallica. Or Rat.
Who
were influenced by
Thin Lizzy. Yeah. That's a good point.
There's a lot of people who are influenced by the influence.
Yeah.
Emo era music is absolutely amazing because of how dramatic and edgelord it tends to be. Shannon lyrics of all emo songs while pretending you were going through a heartbreak is my fave activity.
Yeah, that's the thing. Heartbreak.
I'm not okay.
No, it's I'm not okay.
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 I kind of appreciate how there's not even really a chorus. He just sings "I'm not okay" over and over.
Yeah, pretty much. But no, it's like breakups and romance is the single kind of perceived, because it isn't necessarily, you could be era ace, but it's the perceived universal struggle that anybody can kind of go through. So that's why you notice that in some genres where it's like, if it's all about breakups and parties and stuff, it's like not a lot of depth here, not a lot of range of experience.
Okay. Hang on, fun fact, the overlapping melodies at the end of We Don't Talk About Bruno is called a madrigal. Lynn also did it in nonstop in Hamilton. Oh god, Hamilton's
I heard about that. Yeah.
Sure. I am just used to overlapping melodies. It's called counterpoint in classical. Any marketing tips? Ooh, okay. Depends on what you're marketing.
Yeah.
The things you talk about how some great musicians don't know how to market and fail. So I was wondering your thoughts on what makes good marketing. Oh, okay.
You got some thoughts on this.
How do I boil this down into something simple? One of the most important things I ever heard someone say about marketing is people don't buy what you're selling. People buy who you are.
Yeah.
So show who you are with the people, and don't ever get caught up in the old school idea of mystique for musicians, because that era is dead. It's gone. Mystique does not exist in music these days, or at least not successfully, unless you're like the coolest fucking person ever, which
probably not.
No offense.
Maybe.
I don't know.
You might be.
You could be.
Maybe. But
anyway, the point here is like, be genuine, be authentic, be yourself, and try to do it often. Like, one of my biggest failings as a social media person is that I'm not always great at sharing personal stuff specifically. One of the great advantages of this channel is that it just naturally brings personal stuff up that we end up getting to, right? But like, if I was marketing myself as a musician, I would actually have to remember to post personal posts. Do not make every post about marketing your music.
Yeah.
Like, if every fucking second or third post from you is like, hey guys, go check out my new song, or, you know, check this thing out, or support me this way, or whatever, people will literally just stop looking at your notifications. They won't even read what you had to write. You know what I mean? So just share little personal tidbits every now and then get them hyped for a song. Like, share like 3 personal posts, and then on the 4th one, show a tidbit of music, and then go back to some personal posts, and then after, you know, like 5, like another 3 or 4 or whatever, then be like, okay, now I'll show you a little bit more of this song, and I'm going to let you guys know it's going to be out at this point in time in this place. You know what I mean? Build people up to wanting to hear your music. Let them enjoy who you are a little bit as a person.
Yeah.
I think that one of the biggest failings of most modern marketing is that they don't focus on what people actually connect with, and what people connect with is you.
Yeah.
You as a human being.
Human being.
Yeah.
It's what we do.
Exactly.
For context, like I'm also terrible with, you know, the social media thing. It's part of what's making me realize like I wouldn't be great with this, doing this like full time. But yeah, something I noticed with my like Instagram, just doing it a little more, and it's nothing big or anything like that, but just everything that I post that goes off is just me in an outfit that I put together that I liked. It's just me. That's the thing that people are like, oh yeah, cool. I love this. You know, it's great, good stuff. You know, I'm like, really?
Yeah.
It's just me. Well, who cares about that? It's like, yeah, other people do, because other people connect to you. You know,
pretty much make a personal connection, do it often, and post singles. If you're a musician, albums are dead.
Yeah, they're on the way out.
You can post albums if you're already a huge success, or you just don't give a shit about your career.
Yep.
But if you want to actually make music and make money out of music, post singles.
Yeah. Clementine.
Clementine. Thank you.
I don't know if there's a super chat.
No,
like member for 2 months.
Members get like a highlighted message.
Okay.
Once a month or something.
Highlight a message from Clementine.
Yeah. I really need your stream today. Had a mental breakdown at work and was sent home early. Love that. Anyway, are you having a nice day? I mean, it's the start of the day for us.
It's all right so far.
I'm really sorry you had a rough day and got sent home early. I hope things are all good. Yeah. That you're not getting in trouble or anything like that.
I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're taking care of yourself. I've been there personally, so like my heart really goes out to you. Yeah. I hope you're doing all right, man.
Yeah, and as far as things going okay, I mean, I'm not 100% broke.
Yeah,
so
that's helping. My job's going pretty well.
Yeah,
actually. Vinny's doing
a couple shifts a week so far.
3 actually.
Yeah, 3.
Average on on 3. So that's good sign.
It does mean that he may not be as available moving forward.
Yeah,
but we're gonna try to keep it. You know, obviously we want to keep posting content, but you know, Steph now is part-time.
Yeah.
So, 75 behind is always.
Oh yes.
Are you gonna do any more of the Narnia movies? No.
Nah.
Sorry. The second one failed so hard. Oh yeah. Honestly, what even any more? There's only one.
Yeah.
There's only one of the movies.
Oh, yeah, one lost. Narnia.
Yeah. One of the guys in Maze Runner was recently in an adaptation of the Agatha Christie novel directed by Hugh Laurie. Oh, that sounds kind of cool.
Neat.
And what do you mean of Anna? Oh, Agatha, not the. Yeah, sure. I regretted not watching the first Spider-Verse movie in theaters. Now I'm regretting not having watched it across the second time in theaters. Yeah, those are the kind of movies that like I'm like, oh, you know, you need to see in theaters.
Oh,
but at the same time, going to the cinema is such a luxury now. I don't even really think about it.
Well, actually, you know what? I kind of am in two minds about seeing Across the Spider-Verse in cinema, because visually,
the audio is
it's so like, oh my god, amazing! Look at this. It's just everything the first one had, but even more. But then the audio was so jacked that I noticed it, and I'm not like a massive audiophile like Sam is, and even I was like, what the fuck? Like, is that just me? Was that me, or did anybody else not hear what the fuck that person just said?
Yeah, and I think like for me, it's like there's essentially two kinds of audio person. The person who's super artistic about it and all they care about is like the dynamics and hearing it in the perfect setting and all that kind of stuff. And then there's the person who wants it to be heard in general across like for the audience. So basically there's the audiophile who only cares about themselves and the audiophile who cares about how that affects everybody else. I'm the second one. But I do care for me. I hate going into a movie and be like, how the fuck can I not hear what the hell is happening right now? How can I not hear this dialogue in the cinema? Stop it.
And that ties
you could
up.
have fixed this.
That ties up into like with a lot of those like hyper niche kind of like, especially like nerd guys sort of subcultures that just ties right into classism, where it's like, oh, you just need better speakers, bro. It's like, who the fuck? Maybe Tyler, who lives with his parents, you know, can afford those like super amazing speakers.
You don't specifically mean our Tyler, do you?
No, sorry, Tyler.
Like,
sorry, Tyler. I was just trying to pick like a
just a general name.
Maybe Kyle, maybe Drayden,
Whatever.
Maybe, your average white boy who lives at home and is, upper middle class can afford, top end speakers, but the average person can't. Even the average cinema doesn't have speakers that good, which is why it then sounds shit in the cinemas.
Pretty much. My mom recovering well from her surgery. We're having a girls' night out tomorrow. Thanks for the update, Shay. Really good to hear that.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah, having a girls' night out.
That's good.
It's only been like a week here. That's great. Oh, okay. Thought you were doing rewatches, not exclusively. We're just covering movies that we want to cover.
Yeah.
I mean, that are good for the channel and stuff, but yeah. Movies that we like.
I mean, we were trying for a little bit to be like at least one of us should have watched it to, prep ahead, I guess, so make sure that we can do it and stuff,
to make sure that like the dialogue isn't too heavy and that like
too dense.
We're not going to get like trapped in a specific scene for like 10 minutes trying to figure out whatever because it's complicated. But
kind of let go of that.
We're taking it. We're being a little bit less analytical now, just to try to keep it simpler for us as work. To actually make the videos, because we've kind of painted ourselves into a corner with how big and complicated we've made our videos.
Let's simplify.
Hang on, I thought you were doing rewatches. Oh yeah, we just. Sorry, weird eyebrows. Oh,
Will Poulter.
It's funny
because alone.
no one mentioned his eyebrows.
I
mean, maybe you did, but I just know Will as Will. I don't need to. He's Will Poulter. I mean, he's kind of well known now. I don't need to describe him.
I feel really bad when people like rag on him or call him ugly and shit, because I'm really just like, he's just got a face.
I'll be honest with you.
He just has a face,
I don't, because I can see how good looking he's growing into.
Oh yeah, cool.
This is a fucking handsome man.
Okay, cool, yeah.
And like with or without the fitness, like. You know how like some people just look better as adults than they did as teenagers.
Yeah, growing into his features.
Will is one of those people.
Yeah, cool.
And
I guess this is what I mean though. I'm just like, man, whatever. People are gonna be people, but just
everybody is different about these things. I know that he did have a hard time for a little while, so there's nearly panicked when you mentioned daylight savings at the start because I forgot about the hour being set back. No, it's here, not there.
Not yet.
Paranorman, it's a similar kind of thing, isn't it? I think also like Universal or something.
I think it was DreamWorks.
I think it's DreamWorks.
I think that was the reason, because it's Leica Studios. It's not necessarily to say that they were DreamWorks, but
maybe it's possible. I'll look into it.
I swear I did. I can't remember now.
Don't disagree with it, but if I hear anyone say Die Hard's a Christmas movie, I didn't even ask, they're going to smack the head. Well, it
is though.
That's not the point they're making.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yes, it is 100% a Christmas movie, but if it's not coming up specifically in the conversation, then I agree. People are just trying to be like nerd cool.
That's fair.
It's like, we get it. It's a Christmas movie. Why are we talking about this? We all agreed on this like 10 years ago. What are we talking about? Apparently Die Hard.
Yeah, apparently. Getting smacked in the head.
Yeah. I am persuaded Oscar Isaac will now enjoy any other role more than the one in Star Wars. What did he do in Star Wars?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, fair enough. I loved him in Moon Knight.
He was Poe, the fighter pilot guy.
In Rogue One or whatever.
No. In the sequel trilogy.
Okay,
but exactly.
Look, I only saw one of the new movies.
Yeah.
No. I saw.
Oh no.
I saw Andor. No. Is that it? The Solo.
The series?
No.
Han Solo one?
No. What was the one about the one planet? Was that just Rogue One?
Rogue One. They went to more than one planet in it.
What was?
You might be thinking of Andor, it's a series.
No, not the series. The one that was a solo movie like 3 or 4 years ago, and not the Han Solo movie, for Christ's sakes.
Then you're thinking of Rogue One.
Yeah,
that one was fucking good. That was such a good movie.
Really? Because I don't remember it.
Really?
Not really.
Fuck. It was mad.
Shit happened.
To me, it was like...
I literally remember the Han Solo movie better.
It was
and I don't mean it was better. I just remember.
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe that's why you remember it more. It's terrible. But no, for me, Rogue One was essentially like capturing what made the Star Wars franchise, the universe, the worlds that they had in there overall before Disney bought it out. You know,
Sure, yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the same reason why I liked Mandalorian so much, because it's like, oh yeah, it's not just focusing on this one fucking family. It's like, yeah, we did the whole Skywalker thing, so now let's just focus on, it's a big galaxy. Let's just focus on all these little stories and shit. There's so much going on and stuff. But yeah, Disney was like, nah, let's bring it right back.
Yeah. Did you know Nan was played by Baroness von Trocken from the Princess Diaries?
Huh. Did not know that. I do know that she's suing the studio because they used her likeness without paying her a bunch.
Yeah. I'm glad that old Crispy Glover made a set precedent for that in like 1989. Do you know about that?
Hold on. Crispy Glover?
Crispin Glover?
Crispin. I thought you said crispy.
I did.
Oh, okay, right. Okay, isn't it? Yeah, makes sense. No, what is all this?
So do you know in the second movie how he's in it?
Which second movie of what?
Batman. Sorry, no. Back to the Future. Back to the Future.
Right.
So he's in the first movie. The second movie, he's not in.
Who is he?
The dad.
The dad. Oh yeah,
Marty's
the dad.
dad.
Okay, Marty's dad. Yeah.
So in the second movie, he's technically in it, but they used old footage for a couple of scenes, and then in a couple of other scenes, they literally just got a different actor with like prosthetics and stuff. They made him
to look
like
as
him,
much like him as possible,
and then just kind of tried to not use him and whatever. And Chris was just like, no, people will see that and think it's me. In fact, people do see that and think it's me. Yeah. And that's given me a bad reputation as an actor in the industry.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys.
Well,
so he sued the shit out of them.
Yeah, good. But because even if it didn't ruin his reputation, that's his likeness.
It actually impacted his career.
That is his fucking face. Yeah. People look at it, they think it's his face. That's the entire point of copyright stuff, of all these laws and shit. So I had an instance. I'm not going to mention which band, that I don't want you to mention it because you might remember. But there was a group that I played with who one of their members split off, decided not to do music anymore. And the rest of the band were like, oh, we want to just keep using your songs.
But Did they really do that?
Yeah, they wanted to. They tried.
Oh,
they were, we want to keep using your songs, but we don't really want to pay you royalties. So, like, if you're leaving the band, does that mean, like, these are on the table for us? And he was like, absolutely not. I wrote those. You are not going to, they're mine. Yeah. Even if you want to say, but he's not going to make money off it. He's not going to be in music. Matter. It doesn't matter. They are his songs.
Yeah, totally.
And they tried to, fight him over it, and he lawyered up. Yeah. And he got them back. Yeah. Which is why they had to, like, start all over again and, like, start with, like, an entirely new thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just had to make sure without getting any legal trouble.
I can't really say.
It's actually kind of a famous band.
Yeah, not to brag. I never really wanted to bring it up because I don't want to be
famous peoples that we know.
Yeah, I don't want to try to make come off like I'm trying to ride on coattails and shit. But I played with someone who was in a
very, very popular Australian pop.
No, still is.
He's still in the band.
Still is.
Oh,
man.
They had all that shit, and he stayed.
Yeah. Oh no. The guy who split.
Oh, this is a different. Oh yeah.
It's a different guy from the person I played with. The person I played with is currently still in that band.
Well, and you told them the important part.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
This is complicated.
Yeah.
Anyway, Hang on. So wait, super chats make him take his shirt off. Let me find my one.
No.
You funny.
Yeah. Let's try. we respect thirst on main.
The Nun is standard horror, but it definitely has camp value. It's like the Meg. Fair enough. I don't know. Someone said they did Luca Pickup. No, we have not done Luca.
No, not done Luca.
We will do it sometime in the future.
Yeah.
Soonish.
That's
I don't know when.
Yeah, to anyone who hasn't heard me say it, many times I've said it. It's set in the area of Italy that my mom is from, and which I visited, multiple times throughout my childhood. It's basically my second home.
You can literally recognize the landmarks and shit.
Yes, yes, I can.
Crazy,
it's one of those things where I was born here, but then when people talk to me about my culture and shit, they're like, "Oh, you're like more of an immigrant than I thought you were," It's just because you have an accent. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't have an accent.
Subtle Zaria, sorry about the wreck. Then that's called classically. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry, man.
No one said that you do have an Australian accent.
Oh yeah, no, well, I don't have an Italian accent, basically.
When it comes to Star Wars, they just don't know when to stop. My mom always wanted to see the next one, and I was like, "Do we have to?"
Yeah,
fair enough.
Unfortunately, a bit like that.
I say sorry all the time for everything as well. I don't know why. Well, I could tell you why. It's because you feel bad and you think that apologizing will make it better. So many people apologize all the time because they're just like, "No, I won't get in trouble if I'm just apologizing." But not really true.
It's just talking to my own therapist about it's rooted in self-esteem.
Oh, totally. It's 100% rooted in self-esteem.
And a good way to get around it, if you want to just real quick, is try, instead of saying sorry, say thank you instead, because gratitude is a much healthier thing to practice, and it conveys the same thing. You can say thanks for being patient with me instead of sorry for being annoying. When
an apology is actually warranted.
Yeah, precisely.
Did you actually do wrong?
Yeah.
If you fucking if you steal some shit from someone and they catch you what the hell, you're like, yeah, I'm sorry, man. That's an apology you should make. But if if someone pushes you over in the street and you get back and push them right over, I don't think you have to apologize for that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Sure. Okay, that's actually a terrible example. If you're that's what's more normal.
Exactly what they did. I made a recommendation. Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh, is that what happened? Oh yeah.
Totally. Recommendation. You have to apologize for that.
One of you guys apologize for giving us money.
Yeah.
You don't have to apologize for that.
There's a reason we say it, because we know there's a lot of people who, I suffer with self-esteem issues. And I know it's a fucking bit of an epidemic, Yeah.
And what would you all do without me? I don't know, Jackie. That's a good question.
I don't know. I'd be answering way too many people about whether or not we do TV shows.
I'm absurdly envious of how fast Sam changed his shot. Guys.
Yeah. Actually, I'm just going to grab a quick drink of water.
Yeah, go hard. Terminator. Nah, bro.
Nope.
No.
Which is a shame, because it is, in a way,
I know.
franchise.
Yeah, but female Disney family, yes. If not, probably not. Yeah, I mean, that's more or less true. Obviously, we're branching out a little bit more now with movies, Jackie, but it still has to be at least something that we think that our mostly female audience would be interested in. You know what I mean? Right on, Sam. The more low-budget films hit more close to home as a poor boy in the Midwest. I hit you. I mean, I hit you. I'll hit you. No, I hear you. I just think that there's room for everything. And honestly, big things aren't big without small things and mid things. You know what I mean? There's room for everything. Well, yeah. Well, no, there is. It's just they're taking it away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Whoa, shit. Where the hell are we?
Oh, you're well behind.
Yeah. I noticed your Red Lantern tattoo. Yeah. Big comic book fan, and I have serious anger issues.
Yeah.
I remembered that with Sandman, and was so worried about getting a second season for because of that. Yeah. Pretty much. Keep in mind that when I make a movie suggestions movie you haven't seen, you don't necessarily have to react to it. You can see it just by itself. Oh yeah.
No, for sure.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean,
recommendations are all good. You know?
I will point out though, I think we have seen all of these. But, keep suggesting.
We've been around the block a couple times. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no matter how much things change, Terminator and Batman will never make the list.
No.
Sorry.
Look, anything, unfortunately, that has a really big, I don't know how else
male
to say
nerd
it,
audience.
Incel fucking following. No.
Pretty much a no-go, yeah.
Just not get them over here.
Good to know that the strikes are getting resolved, yeah. I nearly lost hope in Marvel after Ant-Man 3, but James Gunn brought me back after Guardians. Well, if James Gunn was brought you back, then that's a bummer because he did one thing and now he's dipped.
I would say that's not a
he's out.
That's not a reason to restore faith in Marvel because that's not Marvel.
That's just James Gunn.
That's just James Gunn. It's one guy.
Yeah, and Ant-Man 3 was pretty bad.
I didn't even watch. I'm so
it was honestly bad.
Burnt out on the Marvel shit, but
mainly really sad.
Mainly burnt out. Not even of the characters and stuff. Burnt out on that style of movie, the way that their pattern of doing
the way
things,
every movie and show they do is essentially the same thing. It's all one note. It's because they've tried to make every movie have every successful element. Every movie is a thriller, action, drama, comedy with superhero elements. It's like it's everything. And it's like if everything is everything, then nothing is anything.
Yeah.
Syndrome, guys.
It's so annoying because the whole point and the best part of comic book universes, Star Wars universe, these big sprawling worlds is depending on what character you're focusing on, you have a different story.
Yeah.
But they just homogenized the shit out of it.
Completely ruined it. So we'll see how things go with James Gunn taking over DC, because the biggest thing I would say that we've learned from comic book movies over the last 10, 15 years is if the guy involved or team, people, whatever, involved actually like the comic books that they're fucking trying to portray, chances are it's going to be a pretty solid movie, which is why I had high hopes for Batgirl.
Yep.
And why I still have high hopes for anything James Gunn does with DC, because he does actually like comic books, and I can tell. I know he likes comic books just from the way he writes comic book shows.
Yeah, even from an older example, Bruce Timm with the animated.
Bruce Timm is so good.
He's a fucking massive comic book nerd, so of course he made a really good series out of it.
And these blockbusters use CGI too much, and it's so unnecessary. I want to know, but I really don't care about how much they aren't using CGI. My biggest question is how much are they relying on CGI to save them money from other scenes, set pieces, actors. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Don't care how much they are on, is how it's used.
Yeah, it's how it's used.
Yeah. Hola. Been a while, but I managed to catch the stream live. Well, thank you, Seneca.
What's up?
Love Pretty Woman. Yeah, Pretty Woman is one of those, it's a pretty timeless movie, which is one of the few reasons why I'm like, I think we can still do Pretty Woman for the channel, even though it's from 1992. Because it is, out of all of the 80s and 90s movies I've seen in the last 20, 30 years, Pretty Woman is one of the most it literally doesn't matter what year it's set in. It would function as well in the 70s as it does in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, even up till now to a degree. Yeah. There are things, obviously, little details that don't fully work, but yeah, it's a pretty timeless story. So, you think about it, West Side Story is a street gang version of Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, yeah. That was the point.
The problem is I'd have to see West Side Story and then think about it.
Everything that
I'm not going to do.
Yeah, everything I've heard, just the basic setup. It's right, is Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, I don't know. There are gangs.
There's gangs. He's from one side of town. She's from the other side of town. They're affiliated with the opposite side. It's Romeo and Juliet.
So true, because writers have the same challenges as just CGI and SFX. Studios aren't hiring enough people and not giving them enough time to complete projects either. Yeah, totally.
Whenever I criticize CGI, it's never criticism towards the actual artists, the actual people doing it. It's the industry and how they are, abusing it and using it.
Yeah. Hope you have more time in music. I'm allowed to have more. Oh, thanks, Ben. I would. Personally, if I had it my way, I'd be recording music at least once, if not twice a week. But I haven't even been able to set up to record for 3 months. So
that's rough. It's rough out here.
Glad Maria and her family are safe. Yeah. Thanks. Whole Craig Dolan in the Avengers is a good example of how to use comedy to subvert expectations. Sadly, Mal got the wrong message. Yes, and see the problem here though is that it's a great example, but they took that and thought, so we should have comedy in all of our movies. It's no.
Saw someone point out the same thing with Barbie. Any big success, they will take just completely the wrong message out of that and be instead of being saying, all this depth and nuance in Barbie, man, this is such a good story. It's toys.
Yeah, dolls.
You want movies based on toys now.
Doll movies.
It was superheroes, and now it's toys. Now it's dolls.
And actually, that is exactly the problem with the superhero genre. Yeah. Is that we've gotten to that point where studios and executives are being so you like superheroes, huh? And it's no, we like good storytelling. there were just good superhero movies early. It was new and it was exciting, and there were good movies.
Yeah.
At least some of them.
I mean, shit. Yeah, there's a reason why a lot of those older superhero movies didn't do super great.
The earlier ones, like 2000s and 90s,
the stories
were terrible.
were bad. But
they were written by people who hated the initial product.
Yeah, and wanted to change it as much as possible.
Yeah.
But the thing with them is just like even then they're like, people don't like superhero movies.
Yeah.
It's like, no,
it's not about that.
People just like good movies.
Yeah. It's the same thing with the whole strong female lead. It's not that people do or don't like the trope. The problem is that we don't like badly written characters.
Precisely, yeah.
You know?
That won't save it in and of itself. Obviously, there are people who do just dislike the trope because of misogyny. But putting that aside,
no, I'm talking about like the people who you would expect to want to see.
Yeah, for sure.
The people who it's for.
You
know?
Yeah, no, and always it's people who don't understand the thing trying to make the thing.
Always,
you know?
Yeah. Recently rewatched Maze Runner. It was mid. Disagree.
Hard so disagree. Far, I have not seen the all of it. We're gonna watch the rest later, but we shall see. So far, disagree.
How do you feel the Maze Runner ranked in comparison to the Hunger Games? At least so far with the first movies. I mean, okay, I've seen the entire series.
Yeah, you know.
I think it starts equally as good. I would say Hunger Games probably gets into a more serious overall story. Not to say that the Maze Runner story isn't, but it's what it's trying to say isn't as strong or as deep.
You got to try really hard not to spoil anything for me.
Basically, I would say that they're both really good, but I would rank the Hunger Games just a little bit further ahead, especially as an overall series. Yeah.
Well, the impression I'm getting is that Maze Runner leans more into the sci-fi.
It does.
Purely sci-fi part, whereas
Hunger Games is more about the politics and the people.
It's more on real things that actually happen in real life, like exactly the same way, you know?
To a degree, yeah. Call Me By Your Name, nah.
No.
Isn't that the Armie Hammer one?
Yeah.
I just don't want to do a movie with freaking Armie Hammer.
Yeah, not a good time.
I think it's fair to call recent CJ Lazy bad, but not fair to direct those because you have really minds behind it because most of those the forcing
exactly what I was saying.
Yeah.
It's just studios are shit.
Would Notting Hill and Runaway Bride be possibly big enough? Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know about in conjunction with, because we don't want to do one of them, find out it failed, and then you'd be locked into the other two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yes, I do think Notting Hill and Runaway Bride. In fact, there's probably 6 or 7 Julia Roberts movies that should be good for us.
Freaking icon.
On our channel.
Yeah.
We haven't really got there yet, but I there's got to be at least a couple that will do well for us. You know what I mean?
Something.
Did you ever do the Saw franchise? No.
No way.
No.
Sorry. How would we even get it past?
I don't even know how
YouTube. Sorry, not trying to mock you, but just I'm like, nah, no way, man. Sorry.
Oh, Daniel Kaluuya is the guy who voiced Spider-Punk, and he was also the lead in Get Out. Bummer.
Oh, yes, that's right. I heard that. Yeah, that's cool.
I hate the image of seeing people standing in the dark. Always makes me out of the room. So imagine me watching Harry's. Yeah, sure. I'm sure you'd like the Merchant Ivory period dramas. Not a suggestion for reactions, just in general.
Oh, just in general. I
have no idea what you're talking about.
Not big on period pieces, but
it's funny you say specifically the Merchant Ivory period drama. Why? I don't like period dramas in general. They're all fucking terrible.
I don't know. See, I generally had that opinion. Not that I thought they were terrible, just indifferent. But I was in a bookshop and I picked up Pretty Women and I just started reading the first couple pages and I was like, oh shit, I'm actually really like this writing style. I'm actually really getting kind of hooked into this, you know?
Wait, you mean Little Women?
Yes, Little Women.
Yeah.
Little Women, sorry. Freaking Pretty Woman. Little Women, and now I'm like, maybe I should give those like little period dramas a go, you know? We should do some shit like Pride and Prejudice.
Oh yeah, we will at some point.
That's just too big to ignore.
Have you seen You again or rewatched You?
Which one was You?
The Stalker movie show.
I never watched it. I watched Amanda the Jedi's videos on it. And I get the distinct impression it's just another one of those instances of like the books were about, hey, this person's fucking terrible, and then the series is like aren't they like mysterious and alluring and shit? Because unfortunately, especially with adaptations like that, Fight Club, Lolita, things where it's like supposed to have lots of layers to it. You can't get it across visually. You can't. There's supposed to be narration. There's supposed to be a speaking voice in your head as you're reading it, and you can't get that across. So even if they're not trying to, completely misinterpret the message, a lot of times it just doesn't look that way at a glance, because that's only supposed to be the surface level.
I'm just going to ask you directly instead of making suggestions. What kind of movies do you like? And you talk about for us specifically, just in general, or for the channel? Yeah. If you're talking about personally, then it doesn't really matter what the genre. Like, I prefer sci-fi. Yeah. In general, like the more sci-fi, the better. But like overall, if it's a good story, it's a good story. The only things I'm not really interested in are like period pieces and horror movies, but for different reasons. Most horror movies I actually just think are kind of boring, and period pieces are. The same thing, but for different reasons. War movies.
Not really interested in war movies. Only real like. I don't really like.
Why do I need to see people get blown up?
It's like, yes, I know.
I know it was terrible,
horrible. I appreciate all that stuff, but especially, unfortunately, with like a lot of American media being low key military propaganda. Does also kind of make me uncomfortable sometimes. The level of glorification.
Hell, I have a tough time occasionally watching Stargate SG-1 just because it is positive. It's about the Air Force. The Air Force likes Stargate so much that they actually had like generals and admirals and stuff turn up on set to give them advice and occasionally just cameo for fun as real generals. Like the times in the show when they have like a real like general come in to like tear them down. Oh, it's a real guy.
That's a real guy.
He's an actual. He's not an actor.
That doesn't surprise me at all because Full Metal Jacket, they got an actual drill sergeant in. Stuff like Top Gun was so fucking successful for recruitment that they put recruitment boxes outside of the cinema so people could go straight from the movie. This is like 18, 19-year-olds, people fresh out of high school,
like, go Top Gun
straight from the fucking movie to I'm gonna be like Tom Cruise.
I'll be Iceman.
Super exploitative. Super exploitative.
It's rough.
And then simultaneously trying to be like, bro, guys, like war though.
It's
like so fucked up.
War is wrong.
Look at what these young men sacrificed and were forced to give up by us.
How do you feel about dark pop songs artists like Valerie Broussard? No idea.
No clue.
Zero clue.
Never heard of her. Sorry.
People don't like to feel like they are being sold something all the time. You're right on target with Connection.
Yeah, precisely.
Oh, it depends. Again, you can make people feel obviously like they're being sold something if you are being genuine and personal about your connection.
Yeah, but that transparency puts the connection first.
Just be be straight up and authentic, and just tell people fucking everything. And if they don't like it, well, shit.
Yeah, man, that's your filtration system for who is going to actually like you and engage with you. You know.
It's true. People like knowing the people behind the art since they want to know what the inspiration stories behind the art when looking into it. And this is actually really, really true of sports as well, which I think is one of the great failings about modern sports is that they've forgotten it's about people, not the game.
So we are in the peak era of they're just like me for real culture.
Planning to quit my shit warehouse job because it's nearly killing me and I need to take more care of my body. Been there over a year now. It felt like ages.
That's fair.
Yeah, warehouse jobs are rough, man. I hope you've saved some money.
I've not heard good things. I considered it for a while and then I was told up front by someone who did work it, who was aware of my condition. They were just like, you can't do it. No way. You cannot do that work.
All of the
I was like, I don't know. I mean, like, like if I take care of it, and I was like, they were like, nope. No.
I'm glad you had that conversation.
Because they were like, you will leave even if you are in tip-top condition, and if you are fit, you are strong, you will leave with problems. So if you already have them, fuck no.
No, fuck no. Hang on. So I was a spa last weekend for my birthday, and let me tell you, now I understand why people like massages.
Yeah, man.
Is that your first massage?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
It's expensive.
When you have to pay money.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, my mom always knew all of people in these industries. All of her friends is someone in,
Mom's a nurse for context.
No, she's not.
Well, sorry, what does she do? She's in the medical industry, right?
Nope.
No, she lived. Yes. She lived near a hospital.
She lives with nurses.
That's right.
She's a teacher.
That's right. Yeah. Sorry, I was getting mixed up. I thought like medical educator for some reason. I thought like, yeah, like
you got half it right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Has anyone come up to you in person and recognized you? Yes.
Teddy. Yeah.
In positive or negative way, do you mind doing something that, or would you rather they not do it? Oh, we don't mind at all. First of all, we've had a total between the two of us of 3 people.
Yeah.
Come up to say hi or whatever. You once, me twice. For you, very positive.
Very sweet.
For me, one of them super positive. The other, I don't really know, just because it seemed like they were rushing for the train, and me and Maria were like going shopping and heading into different directions. So I couldn't even really tell if they were like happy to see me or like pissed off to see me.
Yeah.
But they were like, "Hey, you're that guy." I'm like, "Yeah, man.
You're that fucking guy."
Yeah, I said at the time, like, "Thanks for watching," and then I looked at their face. They kind of looked a little bit like they wanted to say something else, and it didn't seem happy. I'm pretty sure they wanted to go off at me for some reason, but I could be wrong. I could be reading it.
Oh boy.
You know what I mean? But yeah, no. I mean, like, man, I don't get out often enough for it to matter.
No, yeah.
I love talking to people. I wish that I had free time. One of the biggest drawbacks I have with talking to new people on the street is I'm really good at meeting people, so like it's hard for me to like start talking to someone and that not be like a regular conversation that just keeps going.
Yeah.
And I never have time for that. So I'll start talking to someone and I'll be like, "Oh, you're pretty cool, man. I have to leave."
Bro, even when
I gotta go.
Even when you did have time, when we first met, I legitimately was just like, I swear to God, you must have said like, what, 6 words in total, you know, in this like weird little like pseudo interview for me to join up your band. Like, you play drums?
Yeah.
Yeah. You good? Yeah. Cool. That's it. Like, all right.
Let's find out how this goes. How are we? Solid?
Yeah, all right.
Pretty good.
Doing okay.
Pretty fucking tired.
Yeah.
To be honest. Really weird. I have had a few days off this month. Last month, September. It's a new month, whatever. So I am slightly. No, I don't want to say less tired. I'm okay.
I don't want to rub it in. I don't want to rub it in your face, but I'm feeling a lot better from just putting more time just into this retail gig, because that's one of the downsides of creative industries that people don't tell you about. You always are in it. It is 24/7. You are on call, whereas this is clock off, go home. That's it.
Yeah. Done. When you're done with retail, you just go home.
I actually, even my last retail job, I'm realizing, like it wasn't necessarily the job, it was the expectation they had, because I was basically a 2IC, a second in charge, you know. And yeah, it was just too much. It was constantly, I was always, they'd call me up and like, we need to come in because like, you know, some shit happened, blah, blah, blah. But this is totally different and doing a lot better now.
So yeah, as you can tell from what Steph is saying, the next few months to a year or whatever are going to see some changes.
Yes.
We'll see. Hopefully you still have the energy and the time, the energy, the health to consistently do this. Anything that's going to change, we'll let you know as these things happen, obviously.
Yeah, we'll probably give you another update next week.
Yeah.
Once
we're a little bit more clear, we're going to keep figuring our plans out, I guess. But like, I'm not going anywhere. I will let go of my YouTube career when I'm dead.
Yeah.
You can pry it from my cold dead hands. But he wants a little bit less pressure. I can understand that.
Yeah, I'm just easing up a little bit.
That's totally fair. Do you have a movie TV show that had an amazing premise but was written and executed badly? Sliders.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Although to be fair, the first 2 seasons are really good, but it's just that like, could have been such an amazing show across the 5 seasons, and it was just like, most of the potential. Go on.
Korra.
Oh yeah, Legend of Korra.
Legend of Korra.
Well, that's because you had something to compare it to. It went from amazing stories and it's like story writing and dialogue and character development. Well, except for the Aang and Katara thing. But forgetting that one little instance, everything else is so well written for like the entire 3 seasons of Avatar. And then Korra is just so up and down all over the shop. Like it's like they keep forgetting who their characters are and write them in entirely different ways, like every 3rd or 4th episode.
According to what the plot,
whatever the plot needs them to be. Yeah, it was.
Avatar was like 90% solid gold.
Yeah,
and then Korra dropped
60%.
down.
50%.
Even 50. Yeah, I'd say even like 50%
Half
solid
of
gold.
it is
And it's
actually
like,
really, really good.
Yeah, the half that's really
so
good.
bad.
And I think that's the problem, because you get shows which are just mid, consistently mid. But the problem was Korra at times was fucking amazing.
You got the hints of what it could be.
You got the hint. You got that flashback gusto in Ratatouille moments to how good Avatar was. And then it would just drop, and it would be so much more obvious by comparison because of it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So that's definitely my pick.
I do like when people try to make audio heard as clearly as possible across devices. It really helps with the audio processing disorder. I mean, it helps if you don't have an audio processing disorder.
Yeah, it does. But I
know what
that,
they're saying.
Yeah.
This isn't a counterpoint.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, this is one of the reasons why to this day I still am trying to improve our audio. Even though I've got it mostly figured out most of the time, I'm still trying to make it more clear and more audible across the board. Some of that is vocal ability, our performance, because especially like one of my issues being a trained vocalist is I'm always sitting next to people who aren't, and sometimes they speak loud and clear, and sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
So you have the resonance in your voice, but you don't always use it.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what I mean?
No, that is fair.
And it's the same for Maria, but she is being like actively taught to be quiet because she is a translator. It's part of the job, so it's really weird and uncomfortable for her to like try and be loud.
Well, I mean, even though like as far as something I found out more about with like audio processing disorder, the reason why like badly mixed like vocals and stuff are like even harder for people with that condition to pick up is because it counts as complex noise. It's the levels of sound are overlapping with each other, and while the average person might be like, no, but I can still hear it, it's like no, they're meshing, and so your brain will not distinguish them from each other because like no, but this is all the same sound. It's all just the one thing, crazy.
Like for reference, I do actual like audio mixing on our videos.
Yeah,
like I go through an EQ and like surgically cut frequencies out or boost them up to make sure that we and the movie are both really audible like at all times. You know what I mean?
Even when this is what the studio fucked up.
Even when they're not like, even when we're not having the movie and each other, I try to make sure that there's this clear separation between our audios without it being too wildly different. Hang on, where are we? I'm glad unapologetically evil villains are making a comeback, especially Jack Horner and High Evolutionary.
Ones where it's like they are just bad
They're just
guys.
bad. I appreciate that.
We're not fucking being like, no, but they're like got a tragic backstory. It's like, I think there is a bit of an importance in recognizing some people are just kind of fucking terrible.
No, I do think that the actual percentage of literal evil
is
very small.
Very small.
And I've definitely seen many instances of people calling other people evil who were just kind of regular people who maybe were hurt,
kind of fucked up.
It's some stupid choices, maybe.
It happens.
Yeah, the concept of evil is an interesting one. But hang on, where the fuck? Did y'all talk about the writers getting what they were? No, we didn't really talk about it, but I do know I know the strike is over, that a deal was reached, but I haven't looked into it enough to want to talk about it right now.
Well, for writers, not for actors. And I hear that the video game one is just ramping up now.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Look, we'll try to talk about this one next week. I want to look into it a little bit more. I saw the
This is just what I've heard,
and I haven't had the time to look into it.
We don't know what we're talking about.
Also, keep in mind, guys, it's the WNBA playoffs, so I am dedicating some of my free time to sports. Also, the road to the Olympics for, everything, but skateboarding specifically. And women's skateboarding is actually like really exciting right now. So keeping up to date, you know what I'm saying? I'm happy to say that my soldier came home.
Yeah, nice.
Fucking
amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
Kelly?
Yeah.
Goddamn.
I think I saw that on Instagram or something.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking
that's great.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear
it. That's happening, and I'll be happy to hear it. Updates on it. Yeah. I had a big issue with getting back on getting back on sync with your video after accidentally rewinding a lot of minutes.
Whoops.
These things happen. Star Wars always came out around the same time, so my whole fam made it together to see them. It's just the timing of it. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Speaking of all, I'm sorry, I haven't thought of sending a super chat. You haven't thought of it? Oh,
it's all good, man.
I'm so hot. Nah, for real though. Look, man, I know that most people can't really afford to like donate money.
Yeah, zero obligation here.
I get that.
It's all good.
Apologies because I feel like an intrusion, even if logically I know the person wouldn't consider me. Yeah, that's what he was talking about. That's the self-esteem situation. Yep. Yeah.
That's where it's rooted.
Yeah.
It takes work to untangle it. Don't feel bad.
It took me a while, but I started working on it like 15 years ago, and now I never apologize for anything that I shouldn't have to.
And additionally, I will say, not to say like, not to undermine the shit you've been through, but like you have had a very good like support network.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that can make such a fucking huge difference. Yeah. So don't feel bad,
Yeah, I'm
struggling.
I'm uniquely lucky, I suppose, in the sense that I've been in the same tough situations as a lot of regular people, but I had one very amazing supportive parent.
Yeah.
So even though I was, I was poor and all these other things, and I've been homeless and I've been in addiction problems, but like I had a great support network, and that made a huge difference in me like getting my shit together.
Supportive and knowledgeable though,
intelligent,
because there's a lot of parents who mean well, but
they just don't know
understand enough to really help. But yeah, there's a big difference. Celeste asked again, asked if I'd seen You. I've not watched You.
Wait, hang on. Is there a separate thing called You Again?
Hold on, let me see.
Because she asked that before. She might actually be talking about something else. Yeah, you look that up.
Oh, it's a movie.
Oh, there you go.
It's a romance comedy. Oh my god, it's got like Betty White and fucking Kristen. Sigourney Weaver, Jamie Lee Curtis. Holy shit!
Oh, that actually looks really cool.
When did this come out? 2010.
Look, I personally want to see that, but I know that it's going to do terrible for the chat.
So. 2010, even the ratings there are not great. Because just 2010's rom-coms we found.
Oh.
It was the era of cynicism. It was and like hating anything. It was the death of rom-coms.
Yeah, pretty much. You should watch the OG Buffy movie. We did.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you did that.
Still editing it.
Yeah.
There's Barbie on the list of upcoming movies.
Yes, but I want him to watch it before we commit.
My problem is it's Universal.
Oh yeah, it's Universal. Freaking hell, god damn it! Yeah, it's Universal.
I badly want to make that video, and I hope that we can and that we'll do well. But like, it's probably gonna take like a month of fighting the company. To get it like. Cleared.
Princess Protection Program is still in limbo.
Princess Protection Program, I'm still trying to like get posted, So,
but Celeste, I see your comment. We'll just watch it for funsies. We'll probably both just watch it for funsies.
Haven't had the energy for MCU since Thor Ragnarok. It's just too much of the same thing out 3 times, which is funny because Thor Ragnarok, I think, was one of the greatest examples of an MCU movie in that specific style. The problem, of course, is that because it was so big and popular, everything else after it was trying to do the same thing.
I did the same thing with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Totally agree. Yeah. Which is, it's unfortunate. It's usually the thing that is great ruins it for everything else that wants to do similar things. Yeah,
unfortunately. And then it creates the trope of this thing, and people are like, oh my god, that fucking thing. It's like, yeah, but the original one was good.
So unfortunately, that's basically how you see Pantera.
Yeah.
Pantera created the trope that like Groove and other metal bands all ripped off. And any band, anytime you hear something, like you hear Pantera and you think, oh, that sounds like something. No, that something sounds like Pantera.
Yeah.
There is no before Pantera.
I mean, Pantera also kind of ruined themselves.
Well, that's what I mean.
The lead singer.
Well, that's another story.
Themselves.
That's a whole other situation.
Yeah.
And also a very confusing one. Because like he's from black areas. He has black friends. I don't know how he keeps saying racist things in public.
Yeah.
Like he hangs out with black people and then criticizes black things in public.
He should have the experience. He should have at least a second-hand experience to understand.
A strange guy, but to be fair, he's a very fucked up guy.
Yeah,
he's got a lot of problems.
Yeah,
so that's a whole other thing. You guys familiar with the show The Bear? Yeah,
heard of it.
I might watch it at some point. I mean, I spent my time cooking in like a nice cafe. I guess I would have at least some.
Yeah, we've both worked kitchens, a lot in our lives. My family in general have run restaurants, worked in restaurants, very fucking common thing. So yeah, that could be cool.
You guys are streaming on a public holiday. Hope you pay yourselves the award rate.
Awesome.
Oh, that's funny.
That is good. That's great.
Man, I can't even afford to pay myself minimum wage.
No. Not today, my friend. Not today.
where can we find Sam's music in the future when I have time
Yes.
to record it? Literally.
In the world of tomorrow.
Like, again, music is something at this point in time, it's become a wealthy man's game.
Yeah.
Like, I literally, if I'm making music, I'm not making money.
Yeah.
And I need to make money.
Yeah.
So
basically just an expensive hobby. Or it's like, to the average person, if you want to get into music.
Yeah, Jackie, I don't know West Side Story, so.
Sorry.
Yeah. The main detail that does not totally work nowadays with Pretty Woman is the clothes she wears at the beginning of the movie. No one would care about the specific clothes she's wearing. Well, that's true. That is true. That's the one thing where what she's wearing, like, in that outfit would just be like, oh, that's pretty cool today. You know what I mean? But back then, no, you'll see it. Well, I mean, it's about a hooker. The movie's about a hooker.
It's about prostitution.
She's just wearing
Oh wait, I think I've seen some of the promotion stuff with
the classic image that she's wearing on the fucking poster.
The denim shorts,
the boots, the pink thing with the
that's so fucking like whatever.
It's chill. Yeah. Anyway, I'm still alone in my insistence that Ragnarok is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's so poorly structured, tonal, dissonant, character breaks, and arts a literary major's nightmare. Yeah, I don't have any problems with that. Own look. It does the thing it needs to do, which is be fun. I don't need it. Like, if it was trying to be a really good movie, that'd be one thing, but I don't think it's really trying to do that.
No, it's just kind of there for shits and giggles.
It's just trying to be fun.
And not everything has to be good in a literary sense.
But some things should be.
Some things definitely should be. 100% should be.
It's more just the fact that,
it's recognizing, it's just recognizing which things are appropriate and for what,
I'm currently writing my thesis and reading on the new woman concept, which in my opinion turned into strong female gaze eventually, and how it is twisted through the male gaze. As long as you're not talking about the idea of the strong female lead character being exclusively a concept born of male mindsets or ideas, because it is not.
It's
I really wish it was.
Well, yeah, it's basically like one of those ones where it's like, it's probably started out. Oh wait, hold on. Which aspect of what kind of strong female character are we talking about?
Just the trope of what it is. No, we're not talking.
Okay, the trope.
No, we're talking about the actual character archetype.
Okay, we're talking about and for the record, I actually don't think it's that bad of a movie. Captain Marvel, that kind of same criticism people say. It's like
it's not
action
the
girl
biggest example
trope.
of it.
No, not the biggest, but
it is an example that technically fits, that would work for your reference.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because the reality, like, the problem I have is that, like, there are plenty of times where it is just straight up a man writing the characters and with no understanding. The problem is that I've also seen it plenty of times done by women who were just trying to kind of swing too hard in the opposite direction of like, we are strong and this, that, and the other and powerful, but they don't actually know how to write that. And I'm not saying it's a man or a woman's fault. I'm just saying
just do a bad writer. You did a bad job writing the character.
Kind of. It's more like, it's like you need to understand what strong actually looks like, and if you've been through a shitload of trauma, you may not know what. And when I say strong, I mean healthy strong. Like, you've been through your therapy strong. You know what I'm talking about?
Emotional strength.
Yeah, like you've actually got, like, you did. I think a problem I'm finding is in a lot of writing is like whoever wrote it doesn't know what that is.
Well,
they like, it's like Zack Snyder trying to write Superman. He doesn't know what powerful actually means or should mean. All he sees is what it can do to other people.
I've got to bring it up.
Snyder?
But like Zack Snyder, in my opinion, sees Superman the same way that Lex Luthor does. In that weird kind of scared, but also envious, wanting the power, not seeing the man, not seeing the human being, not seeing the man, just seeing super. And that's kind of a similar thing where I see where a lot of stories, and these are even male-centered ones as well. There's just a lot of stories which are kind of like, it's about them reclaiming their power. And it's like, no, it's about them getting revenge. It's about, which makes it fundamentally about the people who did the bad things to them. And that's not always bad. It is good sometimes to focus on like, these people did terrible things and they should be kind of brought to justice for that. But there is this kind of, especially this fixation where it's like, no, I'm so powerful and I'm so like emotionally developed and I'm such a like an autonomous entity. But it's like, everything about this story revolves around this other character, around this idea of like, no, I need to prove I'm strong. I need to show I'm strong. Real strength doesn't need to prove it. You know, real strength doesn't not need to make a show of it. And this is across all media. It's just sad to see some female writers fall into that trap as well.
I think it's from years of being mistreated.
100%.
But it doesn't change the writing.
Yeah, there's more justification behind it than 100%. when men do it, where it really is just like angry, sad boy shit. But it's still like,
still what it is.
I get why, but still is the same thing.
The main, we did that. Okay, I'm gonna still. We've done that. Sorry, where the fuck am I? James Gunn leaving is especially bad for Marvel.
No shit.
I can't remember which other thing they've done in the last like 5 to 10 years or whatever, like outside of the Russos and James Gunn. That was good.
Strong agree.
Also, don't want to do a movie with a grown man exploiting a teenager. Which
movie is that? I mean, that's a lot. There's a lot to choose from.
There's a lot of those. I know we're talking about one of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm halfway through taking my brain out. Nice. Although I'm sure many of those women are indeed pretty as well as Little Women.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The jokes in Quantumania weren't even funny. Yeah. If you make a movie serious for 5 minutes, then at least make the jokes actually humorous. So the problem is, I don't think the movie was either serious enough or funny enough. It tried to be a comedy and wasn't funny.
Yeah.
And like none of the serious moments really work. And the changing of the actor for the kid was just like, I like that actor. Like the one that they picked for the replacement. I just didn't. Why? Don't do that. The original actor was great. Anyway, I'd suggest Labyrinth, but since it's a musical, would make it's not about it being a musical. It's about it being a cult classic from like 1983 or whatever.
Yeah. Too old and overall very niche. And also, fucking that Labyrinth t-shirt I had was so cool.
Such a great Labyrinth shirt.
It got ruined in the wash.
Seriously?
Yeah, so I don't have it anymore.
Oh, you destroyed it.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know what the fuck I did. I just like pulled it out and then just like had this big fucking like looked like it'd been ripped through the design. I was like, fuck.
Maybe you were supposed to wash it differently.
I don't know.
Spider-Verse is the best posted child for the superhero genre because it isn't about superheroes. It's the characters from people who you could tell are passionate and actually care about the story.
I can see that.
I agree, but I definitely don't think it's the best. It's just a good example.
Yeah.
Shazam does the same thing.
Yeah, it's a good example of them putting character first and then the setting and stuff.
In fact, that's actually a great example of why the first Shazam movie is great and the second one is bad. The first one focuses on the people and the characters, and the second one focuses on the spectacle. Oh, thank you for the gifties, Amanda.
As is tradition.
Yeah. Much appreciated, always supporting us.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hang on. Just not you, the show. I always wanted to learn how to. People romanticize him anyway, just because he's Penn Badgley.
Yeah, basically.
Forrest Gump technically a war movie or a movie with war in it? It's a movie with war in it.
Yeah, it only plays a part. It's not a war movie.
Definitely not a war movie.
Nah, it's about it's not more than that.
No, it's a whitewashing movie.
Yeah, I've heard. I've not even actually watched the movie.
To be clear, I actually love Forrest Gump. It is a great movie. But there's a lot of Forrest Gump does all the things that black people were successful for.
Or even just people of color.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Just all of the things that were initially known for okay, there could be some things in there that were done by white people.
We're not Americans. We're not Americans.
I just found it funny being like,
context we're missing.
Hey, what do you mean Forrest Gump did that? I thought a black dude did that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, Cinderella is a good example of a mentally strong-willed female character, while Mulan, of course, both includes physically capable of fighting.
Yeah. There's lots of different ways to display strength.
Yes. Horror movies are like It and It 2.
I liked the first one. I did not like chapter 2.
I don't get on board when the hype train comes into town. You know what I mean?
No, I just actually thought it looked good, and I watched the original It fairly recently prior to that. So I was like, yeah, fuck, why not? It does actually look pretty decent. But the second one to me just had all of the problems that the second half of the book had, where it's like you got this cool concept and now you're just
with it.
Well, no, just kind of trying to go too far into it in a way that doesn't work. It's one of those stories to me where the mystique works for it. If you try to break it down, if you try to pull back the curtain, it doesn't work anymore, you know?
Oh, yes, we watched the war movie in class, full on commentary in cinema, no warning of full war scene. Yeah, I almost threw up and I had to run from the room.
Bro.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of shit.
Your teacher sucks.
Allow me to quote a lot of people here. Across the Spider-Verse and Game of Thrones 3 are proof that we're not tired of superhero movies. We're tired of mediocre superhero movies. Well, that's exactly it. It's not about superheroes. It's not about the strong female lead. It's just about, is it a good story with good characters?
Precisely.
It's the only thing that really matters in the end. On war movies, I watched part of 1917, and oh boy, that movie is horrifying. I'm glad that it shows the horrors of war, but I just never want to go through it again. Cried the entire time. Yeah, like I've already seen horrors, man.
Yeah, that's fair.
What the fuck?
Like I'm aware. I could understand for maybe like some people who are definitely stuck in that.
Of war,
I'm not saying the horrors of war, but just we're aware of it. But yeah, I could understand how for some people who are kind of maybe in the glorification kind of camp, it might be good to shake things up, to have a war movie that isn't about glorifying these like hero figures and shit and trying to say, no, it's just a bunch of like kids being horrifically murdered for like rich people to stay rich, essentially.
American football is a joke, and everybody and the mamas are still eating that shit up like it's the most important thing in this country. She can just be in my own little world.
I don't care about sports, period, so I have no opinions on that. Sorry.
That's a complicated one. I don't really like football in general, but I think that sports are incredibly important for society as overall. Kind of exactly the same way music is. Funnily enough, though, if you're referring to us talking about American football earlier, I don't think I mentioned the sport. I was talking about the band.
Oh yeah.
Did I not mention? We talked about.
Yeah, I don't think you specified the band.
No, we were talking about.
We were talking about.
And I specifically said American football.
Yeah. Unless she is also talking about. Her mom is just eating that shit up, blasting pop. Sorry, Ben. Ben. Sorry, Ben.
Yeah. Although, that could have been at a different point in the conversation. I don't remember what we were talking about earlier.
Sorry.
Also, as a Latin American, our relationship with the military is not the best because of Sandy's dictatorship, so I just never got the infatuation the U.S. has with the military.
Yeah, sure. that would make sense. Totally. And from what I've read about the U.S. Helping to establish some not so great governments in military coups. So, yeah. Fair enough.
Sam, they canceled Winning Time, and honestly, it was so weird where they ended it. I was highly disappointed. Yeah. Be honest with you, as soon as I saw it come out, I was like, yeah, they're going to end that after like 1 or 2 seasons, and it's going to be like in the middle of the story. It's useful that I know the story. Like I very, very much know who these people are and what they were doing at the time and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not surprised it got canceled early. I will try to come back to it, but I can't guarantee when I'm going to watch it. I barely have time to watch regular TV right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A little bit more in the last week or so. We started watching Once Upon a Time. But like we've got like 5 or 6 shows that we're like halfway through and then we keep not getting back to because time.
It'd be like that. That's why I made a list. I made a list to keep track of all the shit I'm watching.
Yeah, I don't need a list, but yeah. Writing the female characters based on their actual character and not their gender.
Precisely. Yeah. Like I will say, like sometimes you need to acknowledge gender because it's like this person was discriminated against because of their gender. And if you don't acknowledge that, you are just kind of erasing their struggle. But
it's not inherently always the thing.
Well, it's not the only thing.
Yeah, people are more than just their gender or sexuality or whatever.
That's kind of the point of intersectionality. We are fully fleshed human beings. All of these things are important, but they intersect with each other. You know.
It's like the classic idea that like women make bad leaders because emotional or whatever. It's like no, they're just insecure people make bad leaders. Whether it's a man or a woman doesn't make a goddamn bit of difference.
Yeah,
at least to me. Anyway, I will never forgive the arcane writers for tricking me into hoping the monkey.
Yeah, spoiler. He's not seen it.
I haven't seen it.
I know what you're talking about. It's brutal.
Yeah,
so good.
It wouldn't be that like. This show's been out for a while. Don't worry about the spoilers. And this is another one of those things where I'm like, we keep saying we're gonna watch it.
True. Yeah.
I still haven't seen it. My insomnia is bad this time around. I actually passed out of work today, so now I'm laying in bed at the moment.
Yeah.
God damn it, Jackie.
I'm so sorry, Jackie.
I'm really sorry.
Please rest up.
Audio processing question. Okay. Do you think this could be part of why some people seem to differ on whether a singer is flat on pitch, for example, while others don't seem to notice? Or does that come, where are we? from music training, because sometimes it's like they're hearing something completely different to what I'm hearing. I also have music. It's absolutely the training. It's all experience.
Yeah, that would make sense.
The biggest thing with audio is that it actually does take a decent amount of time and effort to really pick out the small things. And yeah, I'm at a point where I hear things that I'm like, did you hear that? And everyone around me is like, what are you talking about? I'm like, listen to this. And I'll like isolate it and bring it up in headphones. Listen to that. And then finally they're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's there. But no, the majority of people have absolutely no clue. I mean, honestly, one of the things that gives me some comfort as a musician is knowing that the general audience really has not practiced music. They cannot hear if things are sharp or flat unless they're really out. Like if you're a little bit off, they won't notice.
Yeah, people will say, oh, that's flat. And it's like, no, it isn't. Yeah. It's something, but it's not flat.
Yeah, like,
don't know what that word means.
The thing that, like, I've had times where I'm hearing someone sing like in a recording and the comments are like, this person's flat or whatever. I'm like, I'm gonna check that. I'm gonna actually double check that. And I'll double check. It's like, no, the note is like perfectly on pitch. They just have like a kind of ugly tone or whatever.
Yeah. They'll be like, they'll get that shit mixed up because they'll say something like, oh my God, it's way too sharp. Their voice is all whiny. And it's like that's not what being sharp means.
Although it depends, because it does and it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
I will refer
There's nuance.
Like there is such a thing as sharp tone
and
sharp pitch.
But
those are different. It is training. Actually, it's training.
Audio processing disorder is in regards to complex sounds. So lots of sounds happening at once. Basically, just things where it's very garbled.
They're not talking about audio processing disorder. Just audio processing.
Oh, processing question. Okay. Well, yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. They're just asking why they think people hear things differently. It's experience. It's all experience. Well, okay, 99% of the time. There's a very incredibly small percentage of the population who actually genuinely are tone deaf, but they won't be able to tell when things are bad because they're tone deaf.
Yeah, and that's exceedingly rare. Don't go around calling people tone deaf.
I've never come across a person who thought they were tone deaf who actually was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? By the way, I've watched the musical video for Enemy from Imagine Dragons after having watched the first season. That clip hits right now.
Oh, it's Arcane. Because Arcane got to Imagine Dragons did some songs in Arcane. They literally cameo as an animated version of themselves as a band just playing in the background.
I wish you guys hadn't told me that.
Yeah, you hate Imagine Dragons, eh?
I don't hate Imagine Dragons. I nothing Imagine Dragons. That's the worst thing. They're nothing. They're not good. They're not banned. They just technically exist. They just
exist. Yeah. No, I feel that. Yeah, it's probably the worst thing about the show. You know, it's just that Imagine Dragons is in it.
Okay. Penny says, "Hi, my name is Brittany." Oh,
what's up, Brittany?
Anyway, hi, Brittany.
That's Brittany, bitch.
You guys make my day so happy. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm glad to hear it.
I never watched the Olympics. Is it fun like how people view the Super Bowl? No.
I don't care.
No, it's not. Just straight blanket outright. The Olympics in general are boring as fuck. Stay away from the Olympics.
Yeah.
No. I'm watching Olympic skateboarding because it's skateboarding, and they adopted the most popular skateboarding format, which still needs work. There's some format problems.
Kinks to be worked out.
Well, there's a big problem I'm noticing in skateboarding, where skateboarding really, like, people who skate don't know how much they're removed from everything else. Like, skaters will be talking about like how sports function. I'm like, have you ever once in your life watched a sport? What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just that kind of thing. And it's just like, I can see how this competition would not be functioning because you don't know what sports are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what you get. I was saying how like skating is kind of like the intersection of sports and arts. That those two crowds, and you get a lot of people who are pretty much just into the arts side of it who don't fucking do sports.
Yeah, but it's coming along. At least with the Olympic format for skateboarding makes sense. And again, the competitive field, like across, like especially with women's skateboarding, like men's skateboarding has been what it is for like quite a while. I know what to expect, but like some of these girls are doing some shit. I'm like, okay, fuck yeah, I didn't see that one coming. And they're like 14. Watching these tiny little teenage girls throwing themselves like giant stair sets is crazy.
And the kids are all right.
Hopefully. I think Funa broke her arm in the last one.
Okay, this kid's not all right.
That's all right.
This kid is kind of not all right.
I refuse to believe that some people still think animation is only for kids after all the animation kids stuff that came out recently.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a medium.
I'd look at this way.
Mm-hmm.
At this point in time, if you, and obviously not you, but if a person says to me that animation is for children, I will openly laugh in their face.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in like, no, that's what I would wish I would do. No, I've done it recently a couple of times.
Yeah.
Laugh straight in people's faces.
Because it's a ridiculous assertion.
It's not only like ridiculous and hilarious, but it's like, it's so sad that it's tragicomic. And I'm now laughing at how bad I feel for you in your life.
Yeah, that just, you must be that fucking like closed off from experiences.
I'm actually laughing because it's tragic and it hurts my soul that you think that way.
Holy
and not
crap.
for me, for that person.
Yeah, you've missed out on some solid goals.
And not only that, but like you're so trapped in what people think of you as a mature adult that you refuse to be a mature adult and just like things for what they are.
Yeah, that's that
do what you do. Stop fucking basing it on what like your neighbors will think of you.
It's that quote that I always fucking pull up. That wanting to seem very grown up, that is the most childish thing you can do. That's what kids do.
That's what
kids want to look like adults because they're not adults.
Yes, all of that. Anyway, it's good, but just watch for fun, not for the chat. Yeah, no, we kind of figured in that one, in that particular case, Celeste. And honestly, the cast for you again looked good. So
it looks fucking fun.
I'm actually kind of bummed it probably doesn't look like it would do well for the channel.
No, yeah.
But it is what it is. Oh, I see. Jackie, I hear your point. And Penny, you don't have to feel like you can't comment, but we are struggling to keep up with comments a little bit.
Sorry.
Well, there's never a fan of Game of Thrones. I feel bad for the real fans. Must have been disappointed with the final season. Yeah, fair enough. If you're a friend that says sorry for everything, I found a gentle way to break the habit is to ask them what they say sorry for. I always like when people apologize to me, I'm like, what for? What are you sorry for? And they're like this. I'm like, why would you be sorry for that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of times they don't have a specific reason. You could tell them that they don't need to be sorry about anything. It seems to help my friend, and you are still validating the feeling. Absolutely. Just be like, look, I hear what you think, but I do not feel slighted, and anyone who does feel that way is wrong. You should never have to apologize for this. You know what I mean? I do try to make it very, very clear to people, like, no, dude, you should own that. You be that. It's cool. Seth says hi. Hi, Seth. What's up? I have a soft spot for anything made by Taika Waititi. I used to.
Half-Life Means Death is good.
Yeah. I love his humor, and I love the guy, but honestly, like literally anytime anyone makes a certain level of success, everything they do after starts to like not be good.
I
think it's the money and the studios getting involved, basically.
I heard that Love and Thunder was basically that kind of peak moment, but at least from what I'm seeing with like Half-Life Means Death and stuff, he's kind of like hit it, being like, fuck, I did the thing, didn't I? And kind of pulling back.
Oh, that's cool.
which is cool because most people do not have the self-awareness to actually do that. They just double down. They're like, no, I'm good. I'm an artist.
It's actually kind of how I feel about Tim Burton.
Yeah.
He did his cool big few things in the like early 90s, then he just kept being the same.
Yeah, just bought into his own hype.
Pretty much. I just binged Game of Thrones in a week. I can't imagine the rage of people who are watching over 10 years.
Yeah, it was real. It was real.
Fair enough. The Bear is my brother's favorite show right now. It's fantastic. I'm planning on buying him a sticker from the show as a mini gift for Christmas. That's nice.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Have you ever worked at a world chain? Yes. I work at McDonald's, but no one calls me Seth. I hope they call you like a real thing.
Yeah, your real name.
Considering I'm assuming you work at a McDonald's in America, I'm sure they probably call you terrible things. But yeah, no, I worked at Boost Juice. Where the fuck have I worked? Holy crap. I don't think I've actually worked at any legit fast food chains besides Boost Juice, which not really the same thing. I mean, it's a juice bar.
Yeah. I worked with a suiting company called PVH Brands, which covers Calvin Klein.
Is that like a big? They're talking. Oh no,
they do Calvin. Yeah,
Calvin Klein. I think they're talking about like chain, like franchise things. Like Oxford's just a store.
No, Oxford's just a store. No, but I wasn't talking about Oxford. I was talking about PVH Brands, which had like venues in Pierre Cardin and Calvin Klein. And Calvin Klein is a global brand.
Working for a Calvin Klein store.
Yeah, true. Although people who owned the Calvin Klein.
Yeah, what you're talking about is a little bit different. However, I will say that it would end up being an ultimately similar experience the people at Oxford would treat you just as terribly as if you had worked at like McDonald's or something else.
Yeah.
Like the way.
No, a little bit better. There was a bit more like interpersonal relationship, like suiting them up.
Yeah, dude, that actually might be
working in
technically worse. Like some of the people that work at McDonald's and stuff, it doesn't matter how like nice their manager is. The job itself is garbage.
No, I'm talking about the like people who are buying stuff. Yeah. No.
Oh, the customers.
The customers were nice. The customer, relatively speaking.
Oh, yeah, that would be a huge difference.
Way
the
different.
Customers in clothing will be much nicer than the people in hospitality.
Especially because the suiting part of it was personal. I was actually like, you have to be more involved with the person. In terms of management and shit, I feel like that's the same across the board. They treat you like garbage no matter where you go. And I guess the only other thing was like French Connection. That's a global brand. Yeah. I worked for French Connection for a little bit.
Yeah. I did not miss working in kitchens, though. To be fair, I willingly work bartending, and most chefs I know wouldn't work bar if you paid them public holiday rates every day.
Yeah.
Different kinds of people, though. Like I'm the kind of person who could do both, and I would say they both suck for different reasons. Again, depending on what kind of person you are.
Yeah.
Steph. He's Steph.
I'm Steph.
Yeah.
He's Sam.
Do you have a fave Shrek movie?
No. The first two are really fucking good. I have not seen the fourth one. I heard that it was really, really good, but got slept on because the third one was so bad that it just turned people off of it.
Yeah. I loved that franchise, but I can't say like I'm a fan of that franchise. It's not like I've followed it or anything. I don't have a favorite. I just does some good movies. You know what I mean? Yeah. A show has a good story when it appeals to both longtime League of Legends fans and those who never played it.
Precisely. Sure. Well, they just focused on making a good story first and foremost. No, I'm
scared. I hope that we don't hate her movie recommendations until Celeste.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
My ADHD just staring at Sammy's charger.
Wait, sorry?
Jackie's just staring at my charger.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it's mesmerizing. I try not to look at it too much, honestly.
Yeah. Have you seen the trailer of Lessons in Chemistry? No.
No.
I guess I probably will sometime soon. Sometimes I regret being born in the 2000s.
I remember thinking the same thing when I think
everybody
was
regrets the
in high school. Yeah. In 2006, now you get friggin' people being like, man, I was born in the wrong generation. It just always happens.
Yeah, I always think I should have been born in the early 80s. I just remember more the 80s decade. I don't know if you do, man.
Yeah.
The 80s had great music and movies and terrible everything else.
Well, look,
everything else.
And even in regards to...
And I don't mean pop culture.
Yeah.
Society and people.
Yeah, society. Shit.
Companies. That's when everything started doing shit.
A lot of shit improved. As much shit is still terrible now. A lot of shit did also get better. But I will say that even in regards to just the media, every generation has this thing where they think, music in movies, it was better. It was better. It's like, no, that's only because the best
good
stuff has endured. There was so much crap in the
garbage.
80s. So much crap.
Just got lost to time.
But no one plays it on the radio because it wasn't popular. No one recommends that obscure, shitty 80s movie you never heard of.
Indeed.
No one liked it.
Yeah.
Same thing and I'm literally seeing the same thing in real time now with shit from 2006 when I was in high school. People saying like, man, shit back then was just better. There was just less crap. It's like, no,
it wasn't.
We were saying the exact same thing about the 90s and before that.
Yeah. Have you done My Best Friend's Wedding since we're talking Julia Rosevells? No. We had it on the poll recently. It did not get voted in.
Yeah.
So we'll see, I guess. Was that Runaway Bride? Whatever. It was one of them.
No, I think it was My Best Friend's Wedding.
Yeah. Do you have a fave Disney Channel show? No, I never watched Disney Channel shows. I've just seen the movies.
I guess I watched a lot of Saturday morning Disney when I was a kid. So I liked the Aladdin and Hercules animated shows.
I mean, in the 90s, I watched Tailspin and Darkwing Duck and shit.
Yeah, I kind of missed those ones because they were not.
But those aren't. I don't consider them Disney Channel shows.
Yeah.
90s Disney animation.
Yeah, that was prior to the Disney Channel really being as much of a thing.
The Disney Channel kind of came out more at a time when I wasn't really watching TV.
So. Yeah, you're talking about the live action kind of stuff.
Probably.
In which case, I was vehemently against that. I was definitely an anti.
Love you, handsome gentleman.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anthony.
For the caveat, I wouldn't really consider myself gentleman.
You're not gentle at all.
No, I'm a violent man. No. Yeah, I'm NB, so I don't
Totally
really.
gentle, just not really manly.
Yeah,
not a man.
Hearing, yeah,
You're a human.
Man, so things like that. I've just, I'm a creature that lives in your garbage can. A possum is pretty accurate. Yeah, I crawl around on your roof, screech, at random intervals.
Oh no, don't be Screech. Saved by the Bell was horrible.
Oh no,
no, it was a good show. That poor shirt. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Given that. Run, Forrest, run.
Mm-hmm.
I love the hit movies, but I don't know. I'll get to them at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the trailer of the new rom-com Meg Ryan has directed? I did, yeah.
No.
It'd be fun to have Meg Ryan back in movies, but it's not like it's gonna, I don't know if I'll see it. I want a character based on their character, not their gender, race, or political views. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's more like, character comes first. The same with like, stories, stuff like superhero movies. Like it's about a character first, and then all this other stuff adds context. That's it. It's just there for context. Put any of those things first as the only thing that's the epitome of who they are and shit, like then it won't really work.
Yeah. I would say that the 2020 Milan fell into the problem making the film super feminist, but the writers and directors didn't know how to write that well, and she turns into a superwoman basically. Yeah,
that's a pretty good example of that trope, I'd say.
Yeah, she's so strong. Yeah. She doesn't need any help.
Well, yeah,
whatever, just man. What's the point?
Oh yeah, they just become
why make it
boring? Yeah, they just become boring in that case.
so epic woman doesn't need help, has no challenges.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
Anyway, Disney apparently didn't get the message that we don't want any more live action remake. That's not true. People absolutely want more live action remakes. They just want them to be good.
Bro, Lion King broke records. I don't like it. I don't like its existence in principle. I haven't even seen it, but I just don't like it in principle. No. But it made a shit ton of money.
Yeah, dude. If a movie sold like $1 billion worth of tickets, people wanted it.
Yeah, someone wants it. It's just not you. It's just not us, and that's okay.
Batman, I almost screamed at the theater at the end when Pride Rock is struck by fire. I almost screamed fake.
Apparently the CGI for that was shit.
Gotcha.
Fair enough.
I just love how James Gunn left Marvel on a literal F-bomb.
Oh yeah, I did hear that. He managed to get an F-bomb into Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Like the end?
Yeah. He managed to get it in there.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
See the Milan remake? Yeah, everyone. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people.
I have no intention of doing that.
Yeah, I really couldn't be I couldn't care less. Would you be okay with watching Paddington 1 and 2?
Don't know.
British movies don't tend to do so well for us.
Yeah, good point. Not a good
sign.
Yeah, does well pretty much everywhere else, just not in the States.
Yeah.
We'll
see.
And that's most of our audience, so
I don't even know what The Uninvited is.
The Uninvited, the horror movie.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna work out.
Wow.
Sorry, man. I feel you on the insomnia. I've been doing night shift this week, and because of my insomnia, I've had maybe 10 hours of sleep over 4 days.
God damn, Jack.
Oh, that's Hayden.
Hayden. Oh, the insomnia is going around.
Funny enough, Tom Hanks is both in a movie that has war in it and a war movie.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. It contained multitudes where all of us levels upon levels of experience and circumstances. I could start talking about Sato with being and nothingness, but I digress. Everything is more than you see. Yeah.
Essentially.
Good to hear you're doing better. This month is my last month of college. I graduate in 4 weeks, so I've been very busy trying to take care of myself, though.
Okay, congratulations. Definitely take care of yourself.
Yeah, it's good. I know it's super busy time, the end of college and stuff, so take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Get sleep.
As someone who never managed to finish college with literally 1 unit and an exam left to do because I didn't take care of myself, stay on that shit, please.
It is the worst thing is burning out like right before the finish line.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Literally 1 unit, 1 class, and then exam.
Couldn't finish.
I couldn't do it.
The Olympics are insanely boring. Overall, mostly because they don't understand what people actually want to go to events for.
I never watched it, which I guess kind of proves the point almost.
Yeah. Watch the Olympics, and that's exactly the thing. No one watches the Olympics in general. They just watch the one sport they like if they like a sport there.
Just gonna use it real quick.
Yeah, go hard. Personally love the Olympics, but I generally enjoy televised sports. So also curling is a surprisingly fun sport to watch. Winter sports have more exciting events, in my opinion. Curling, dude. No, it's not. Curling. I'm sorry. I know I was rude. I'm sorry. It's such a boring sport. Okay. But yes, you like curling, and that's fair enough. That's cool. yeah. Speed skating. Because I root for one main team. Sorry, I do USA. I do root for teams the best. 2 teams. Fair enough. The gymnastics part of the Olympics are pretty great, as is figure skating, but the rest have never caught my attention. Even the sports I love, I find boring in the Olympics. Yeah. Sam, are you a baritone or a bass? That would really depend on which school of singing you want to classify me from. Most schools would classify me as a baritone. I think the German school would classify me as a counterbass, which is essentially a low baritone or a dark baritone, I suppose is the term. But yeah, I mean, considering how infrequently I use the bottom of my range, ultimately it doesn't really have that much impact. You know what I mean? I mostly sing tenor material, so. Cruise 2, what about you, Steph? Steph, shit. What about Steph and what? You have to bring that one back up, Seth. We'll come back to it. Talk of sports is reminding me I want to try and get into NHL hockey games, since I remember loving the local college games I went to when I was younger. Fair enough. Hockey it's fast. I haven't watched enough of it. It seems cool. There's a lot of violence, though, right? Pretty hectic. The one thing I know about the hockey players have giant asses. You heard it here first. It's because of the muscles that they use. I just thought it was funny. You hit the 2-hour mark. Yeah, we did. Well, we're going to end this soon. We've got to finish. We've got to do some filming today, basically. You know what I mean? But yeah, we'll finish soon. Sorry for the set. Don't worry about it, man. Some things I don't really care about spoilers for. People, actually, it's more like other people care about spoilers for me because, you know, but yeah, it's fine. That means death. So excited. Cool. Steph is here. Y'all, why is on top of spaghetti stuck in? What the fuck is on top of spaghetti?
I have no idea. What's on top of spaghetti? Sauce, I imagine.
That's a song.
I don't know.
No one calls me Seth because everyone calls me Stephanie. I'm transgender.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. Fair enough.
Well, you're Seth here.
You are Seth
well,
here.
You're Seth everywhere, really. And just people are fucking wrong and stupid.
Yeah. I can't remember when was the last time I went bowling. It's because it's expensive.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Please be kind, everyone. True story. Have you all ever had a cotton candy burrito? Oh, God.
No. What?
Excuse me?
How?
If you're talking about like specifically as a dessert, like it's like cotton candy with other desserts and it's meant to just look like a burrito, you should call it that, then fine. But if you're talking about mixing actual sugar with actual fucking burrito stuff,
God damn.
I would throw up just thinking about it. Sound for the Prowler theme in Spider-Verse is a modified elephant trumpet.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Noise.
Sure. Even Bumblebee don't like being rickrolled. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. No. Oh, it was in the Bumblebee movie. She plays Never Gonna Give You Up. And he like spits out the record. Right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that did happen, but why did you bring that up? What's that reference to?
I don't know.
Whatever. Bumblebee's great.
Still need to watch
Didn't the 80s have crack? Okay. Didn't currently right now
have
crack?
It didn't go anywhere.
It definitely didn't go anywhere.
And
but
definitely not the worst thing that was around.
Yes. It's like it's not even in the top 5 of drugs.
Yeah.
It's bad, don't get me wrong.
I wasn't into top drugs, just means social stuff. Because I do want to make
there's a whole lot of problems from the 80s. But
I just want to make it clear that even when I say things are better, I know that some people might say, like, oh, there's just so much terrible stuff going on, like socially and stuff. It's like, but I feel that it is overall better, but there is more attention.
Yeah.
We are aware of how wrong these things are.
We're more exposed to information.
So then we're more exposed to it, and we are having like a more kind of vitriolic reaction to that. Whereas in the 80s, it was normalized a lot more.
Because
not completely, but
people just didn't know enough about it. Actually, it reminds me how often, say, like in like an 80s or 90s movie, if someone's acting like kind of weird, people are like, this person's crazy. And I'm like, crazy or traumatized?
Yeah.
Are you joking? Crazy? That's what you think?
Yeah.
After this person went through all of this and you know about it, and now you think they're crazy?
Yeah.
That was the thing that they really like wilds me out about the 80s and 90s, just how much people did not know fuck about each other or other places or other countries, just anything. It's crazy. But I mean, no internet, man.
Yeah.
You know? This is my first live. You guys are my favorite on my comfort channel. Thank you so much, Lauren. Tangled is my favorite movie, special interest, and your commentary on it brings me so much joy when I'm feeling down. Thank you for what you do. Oh,
I'm so glad to hear that because we expected that video to do better than it did. Didn't do terribly.
Okay, to be fair, we had lost a lot of momentum at the time.
Yeah.
Like it would have done way better for us if we'd posted it like half a year earlier. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But we needed it at the time to save our asses.
Yeah, so. Glad that you liked it.
Very happy you liked it. Yeah, the music in the 50s to 90s, in my opinion, was great. It isn't really a yes or no kind of thing.
No, just,
there's good and bad music from all eras.
Every decade, every era. And it's, personal taste plays a massive part in it.
Yeah,
you know?
like there's no such thing as 80s music is terrible. There is terrible music and there's great music in the 80s. Same thing with the 90s. People will be like, I can't believe you like terrible 80s music and the 90s is so good. I'm like, okay, both decades were full of absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Just trash. There's no bigger decade for one-hit wonder bands and artists that went nowhere afterwards than the 90s, okay?
Yeah, the technology got more
prevalent.
It was easier to make it.
More and more people coming out.
They wanted to invest more money into
all sorts of
creating
shit.
bands. Makes sense, but it's same with every fucking generation. Every generation.
Every decade has good and bad stuff. Yeah. Both of you are fine, full stop.
Thanks.
I mean, depends on the time. I guess I'm fine okay right now. You know what I'm saying? Same with pop culture, my opinion. You mean that you be the time? Again, it's not about the time period. Bro, even Spot's Holes jokes made me laugh more than the ones he talked to me. Fair enough. Wait, Steph is MB? Yes.
Yes, I am.
He does talk about this kind of often. I know.
I don't know. I find both are acceptable. I prefer they, but I'm also a little bit resigned because I'm aware that like I still present quite masculinely, and
also I've known you for 10 years.
You've known me for 10 years as well. I also just don't really trust people overall to make that shift to they them. Also, my partner is a they them, like
as well, full on.
And I feel like that's going to get confusing if we're both they thems.
Sure.
Maybe it'd be confusing if they're referring to like both of us or just one of us. For average, for most people.
Indeed. DJ needs to head out, so have a good one, DJ.
Bye, DJ.
Don't want to leave. I hear you, Seth. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Live action Treasure Planet. That actually would be, I think, a good one for a live action, but it would have to be done right. There's a lot would have to go into that.
See, I don't know really how I feel because of the alien kind of characters, like Dr. Doppler and stuff.
You'd have to really make sure that they're not based on like real cultures.
Well, not even that, because they're not, but more just the fact that in a weird way they're almost a bit like the Mickey Mouse Goofy sort of style, because they're basically like animal people. Like Dr. Doppler's like a dog and Amelia's a cat and stuff, and I'm like, how does that translate into live action without just looking fucking weird?
Well, considering it's a space movie, they just make him an alien.
Yeah, no, they would be. They are aliens, but in terms of like, where on the like furry to just like, because they're not like anthropomorphic animals per se. They've got skin, and I'm like, I don't know how that would look live action. It might look a bit fucking like gruesome.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I don't know. Like you said, it would need to be done well. That's
all. Would you be down for watching Edgar Wright Cornetto trilogy?
Oh yeah, personally,
I have no idea what they're talking about.
Seen them. It's Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead.
Oh.
Fuck, what was the
other one? I've seen those. Yeah,
I've seen some of them.
No, I don't think
we wouldn't do it for the channel, but yeah, we'll watch some of them.
I've seen those movies.
Time, yeah.
They could. Now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, no, I've seen all those movies.
Yeah.
And they were good. Yeah. I burned out before my exams and I had to take a break because I was just done. Yeah, sucks. Yeah.
Fair.
I recently watched Legally Blonde on TV and I could hear your commentary. It was so funny. Have I seen your video that many times? Fair enough.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Is calling the one with the broom? Yes.
Yes, that is.
Essentially, yes. Both of you are like seniors in uni who are approachable and cool and also tell me to take care of myself. Yeah, that makes sense.
Thank you. I'm glad we give that vibe.
I hear your point. Thank you. I love how Spider-Verse writers always find creative ways to insert the Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man thing. Yeah,
yes.
I am Seth. You are Seth.
Yes, you are.
I just want to say, based on my experience, if your Hispanic mom finds out you have bad grades on a Spanish test, you might as well start writing a grave and writing your will.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I did Italian in school, even though I was fluent. And yeah.
Of course you did.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't want to. I wanted to do French. And my mom told me, no, it's just Italian with phlegm.
It's shitty Italian.
It's just shitty Italian. No. Get the easy grade. She was like, fuck it, get the bag.
Okay. Seth, so happy you made it to the stream. Cool.
Excellent.
Thank you, Seth.
Happy to have you.
My favorite food song, okay, is Donna Summer's MacArthur Park. Someone left the cake out in the rain. Okay. That's weird.
Sure.
Why?
Okay.
The cotton candy burritos, cotton candy filled with ice cream and candy. My friends like them because they're made just.
Okay, it's just a dessert.
Yeah, dude. I have been a pretty strong sweet tooth for most of my life, and I think that's wrong.
Yeah.
that's messed up.
Look, I actually don't know where you're from, but this just does bring to mind a lot of like those American recipes where it's like deep fried waffles smothered in chocolate with bacon, and then also 12 kinds of ice cream and a donut. And it's like, oh my God, just calm down.
Why would you do that to yourself?
It's not running out, okay?
Yeah, you have more of those.
Yeah.
Things. You can have them in separate meals, man. Anyway, so I think it's CGI Paddington is 10 times better than the one in Lion King.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool.
I mean, a lot of CGI is better.
Fair enough, guys. Not everyone has the same taste. I guess you guys are talking about other stuff. Sam, do you have any recommendations for someone trying to relearn, retrain their singing voice after studying? Well, that's an interesting one. I've been on for almost 5 years, but I'm still having trouble when it comes to singing. Well, okay, so I guess the part of the problem here is that your vocal cords are just thicker now. So get comfortable singing, I would say, kind of in your upper low range, if that makes sense. Like just before the passaggio, your passaggio should have moved now down to probably around B or A, middle A, of course, or a B. So anything below or up to those notes, I would sing and try to focus on open quality and tone and just being relaxed and light and easy. Because the reality is that singing shouldn't be any different now than before. It's just that you have thicker vocal cords. So the effort that you put into one sound before will now create a different sound. And you just have to adjust for what feelings match what sounds. So it's just changed, essentially. Do you know what I mean? But all singing is the majority of healthy singing is supposed to be open. So if you focus on having a relaxed mouth and jaw, open throat, think of the reverse trumpet, like small opening, big inside. And then like think about tone up here too. Like you want to have everything open. Like man, there's so much, but realistically, I would say one of the bigger problems is honestly probably that you're thinking that it's more different than it is. Like singing advice should actually be pretty much the same for everybody, regardless of whether you're like a high voice, low voice, man, woman, young, old. It doesn't matter. Singing is singing, and all of it is just like, how does your breath meet your phonation? Pretty much.
I would also just recommend, there are a lot of vocal trainers on YouTube, trans ones specifically, who will address.
That's more about speaking.
Also singing ones, because a lot of them are also like singing coaches and stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Who will talk about like talking or singing and how to like adjust to that shift in your voice. You know,
well, you got to get comfortable with what your voice is right now, and then like find where your comfortable middle home ground singing voice is, and then start branching out from that. You know what I mean? Also, find a good teacher.
Yeah.
Like, there's no other thing that I think find a good teacher applies more than singing. Like, for guitar, just pick one up and start playing. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But singing, no, get a teacher.
Yeah.
Get a good one who understands vowels. Vowels are like so important. Like if your singing teacher doesn't start talking to you about your vowels and like how open or closed they are and shit, they don't know anything. You know? I remember one time in a ski trip that I went to reluctantly, I slipped on ice and landed on my ass. I'm laughing at it now, but it was not pleasant at the time. Yeah, fucking hitting your butt on something really hard can fuck you up.
Oh, yeah.
I remember one time I got slammed in the surf, like I butt first into the sand. I had to crawl out of the surf with my arms. I couldn't move the lower half of my body, and I couldn't breathe properly. It sucked.
Oh yeah, I had the same thing when I fell on the stairs, landed right on my tailbone, and I could not breathe. Actually freaked out a bit.
I'm glad you weren't in the water at the time.
Yes, that would have helped.
Hang on. So, oops. So we're on the human. Yes, talking to each other. Okay. How the fuck do people survive after they fall through ice? That's a multi-layered question.
Yeah,
there's actually quite a lot to it. I'd probably get into the specifics if you want to know. Hey guys, sorry I'm so late. Overslept. No, you're okay, Jordan.
It's all good.
I have a question. Where do you guys have a poll for the next movie? I'll let you know so I can participate. I thought I helped with this earlier. Did you not find the place? Because it's like another thing that's confusing me, Jordan, is you are a member. Hang on, are you a member at the TrueBud level or higher? Because if you're a member at the TrueBud level or higher, the poll should just come up in our community posts.
You should just be able to see it.
Like if you can't see the community post, the voting starts the TrueBud tier or higher. So one of the buds and our solid buds categories are for the credits and the intro joke and a discount from the merch store. So the voting is only the third tier up. But are you not at that tier? I thought you were. Well, assuming you are at the TrueBud tier, then it should just be in the community posts on our like YouTube page. You know, the same place we post anything else. Do get back to me if you're still having trouble. Like, obviously, I want to help you. You know what I'm saying? You know what sucks as an MB speaking a heavily gendered language where you have to forcibly neutralize words. Spanish doesn't have them, and it's my fave pronoun, the one I feel most comfortable with.
Italian is the same. There is no way to properly address Zephyr in the language I grew up with, which is really fucking sad. They are comfortable with like he, him as well as a substitution, as like a, if you can't do they, them, you can't wrap your brain around it or whatever, he, him is okay. But it does suck that even for myself, I can never really feel fully acknowledged in that language, because it's close to me,
Yeah. Teresa says, hey, I love you guys' videos so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Was just wondering if you guys would ever cover The Craft.
Yeah, The Craft is like, it's a big cult classic.
Yeah.
So it falls in that awkward area of like, maybe you'll be all right, but maybe no.
Kind of hard to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steph, I can revise my French with you. What do you think?
No, you can't, because I don't speak French. I think you misunderstood. I didn't do French. I did Italian instead. I just got easy marks.
I like that the 80s setting in Bumblebee is present but not forced or overdone. I agree heavily. It's just in the 80s, but they don't feel like they have to tell you that at every fucking time.
Yeah, that's always good when it's not like egregious.
I mentioned the food song because someone was singing a spaghetti song. Oh, yeah, Jackie. Yeah, it was Jackie. There's a quote I absolutely adore by Robert Anton Wilson. Under the present brutal and primitive conditions on this planet, every person you meet should be regarded as one of the walking wounded. We have never seen a man or woman not slightly deranged by either anxiety or grief. We have never seen a totally sane human being. Yeah, it's a good quote.
That's a fair point.
It's pretty accurate.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's 100%, but yeah, it's pretty good.
Especially as you get older, you do realize, man, everybody fucking has something. And even if you want to get into novel, like super privileged people, like, yeah, but privilege kind of fucks you up in its own way because you are disconnected from reality.
Yeah, disconnected from community, from everything. Rich people are sad and isolated and like lonely.
Weird and kind of a little bit crazy for those reasons. You know,
you guys know I grew up in like a really wealthy town. I knew a lot of really wealthy people, and none of them were happy.
Yeah,
I'm sorry especially about being rich. The only happiness some of those people got were from things that had nothing to do with money.
Yeah.
So, the fuck. Those deep fried recipes always make me sick to hear them, especially something like deep fried butter.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jesus Christ!
I can't believe someone deep fried fat.
Oh yes.
Like that is just insane. Yes. From the US, people fry everything with novelty, even though it's gross. Like, we know.
Yeah.
Just doesn't sound good. Yeah, I love singing. I do, however, need to get back to it. Yeah, man. singing is like so cathartic. You know what I'm saying? Not that I actually have a lot to be like. My problems are like average people problems. I'm angry at society for society. Not for myself. For sure. I hate the way people treat each other, not necessarily me.
Absolutely, but honestly, I kind of just see that even in a perfect world where we're all kind of like good, relatively good, release is just something that people need. I think it's part of the reason why, like, they say like metalheads on average are happier people because they get that aggression out. You deal with your anger in a healthy way,
that's kind of the point.
It's good.
It's the same thing with like things like skateboarding. That desperate need for freedom that so many people feel. That's what skateboarding is. That's the whole point.
Well, funny enough, skateboarding would count and sport as well counts under play.
Absolutely.
Every large mammal and even other like animals, they play into adulthood their whole lives. Grown dogs, grown tigers, lions. They will, it is, and it's necessary for our mental health. When we get treated in our current work situation more like insects, where it's you are born, you do this job, and you do it till you die, and that's your function, and that should make you happy. It won't. We're not like that.
No. About what you said about people thinking they know everything about each other. Yeah. Like Ted Lasso said, be curious, not judgmental.
Yep.
Yeah, that's actually pretty much my main approach for everything other people related as much as possible now. And I sometimes have to remind myself, but it's basically just ask questions.
Yeah.
And try to find the right question. What question hasn't been asked yet? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? This is how I have had so many traumatized people gravitate towards me in my life, despite the fact that I don't really have any major trauma. Maybe a few little things, but nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But people, they come to me for those reasons because I just ask basic questions and I don't really react emotionally in any way about anything.
It's funny, I was talking to Zephyr about this last night, but I think that people are actually good at communicating information, but terrible at communicating context.
Yeah.
Which gives the information its meaning. Because I was even talking about things like, how the fuck did it take so long for people to realize that dyslexia is a thing? And it's because the person with dyslexia just thinks,
explain it.
Oh, well, they just think, they do fully think it's normal. It's not even something worth noting because it's just
like, is it this how
it's
people
just
work?
Real world.
No,
They're
it's not.
Fuck, I'm really bad at reading.
Yeah.
They must be able to figure out the squigglies.
Yeah.
But they don't know, and it's just because the context is not being communicated. All that's getting communicated is, I can't read this, but that doesn't mean anything, or means something totally different to this person than it does to that person.
Yeah,
I feel like it applies across the board, basically.
There are a lot of good voice training channels for trans singers by trans singers out there. I certainly can't think of one off the top of my head. Yeah,
just look into it. Look, there's just shit out there.
I honestly don't think you need a specialized teacher. I really don't. But if you do want to specifically find a trans person to teach you, I don't see any problem with that. There are a lot of trans singers out there who spend a fuckload of time on their voice because they specifically wanted to sound a certain way and they worked on it. Good for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, singing is singing. It's like lifting weights. There's nothing different about you or anybody else. If you have this like a regular arm, like there's no you haven't had any injuries or whatever.
Yeah, voices are different across the board. Period.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's the
opposite.
No, I mean like in terms of like being trans does not like affect it in that way because it's it's like, oh, but my voice is deep, and I was like, yeah, well, little cis boys growing up will shift from a high voice into a low voice. They go through the same thing, so it's just voices. But voices change, voices get different.
Basically, in this case, it's less about singing and more about being comfortable with your voice.
Yeah,
specifically.
I can understand wanting somebody who understands what you're going through, what you've been through.
Yes, that's totally fair. Yeah, it's one of the reasons I would personally like when I last went looking for a singer. I went looking for a man because I was getting tired of having women not understand the baritone problem. Because how could they possibly? Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, it's all good. But once you understand, the baritone voice can do all these things. You just need to approach it the same way, but like from a different starting point. And it makes total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
About the Rickroll thing, I guess I just wanted to find some random shit to talk about.
Fair enough. I also should note we're gonna probably wrap up in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, most definitely. This has been a long stream.
It's been a long stream.
I like doing them, but yeah. Scene question: how do you perform vocal fry without cooking your vocal cords? Vocal fry should not affect your vocal cords in any way. If it's hurting your voice, you're not doing fry. Yeah, I don't really know how else to say that. Yeah,
good teacher. Again, just a good teacher.
Like proper vocal fry comes from like the correct amount of compression, which only comes from, like, you can't force it. If you're pushing it too hard or you're forcing it too much, it won't fry. And in which case, like, you're causing other problems. Do you know what I mean? Like, fry is actually a great way to like learn how to what your breath should feel like when you're singing, like what your stomach should feel like, because you can't really fry properly without that being a consistent medium low sort of thing. If you are getting any kind of pain or strain, what you're getting isn't fry. It's probably the wrong kind of vocal distortion, which is just you forcing your vocal cords together and then like making an ugly sound with them. And vocal fry is not forced. It is light and easy. So yeah, that's it's a complicated one. If you're talking about just distortion in general, which vocal fry and distortion are not the same thing. Fry is a type of distortion. If you talk about distortion in general, well then like you need to be if you don't already have distortion in your singing to start with, then you need to be a balanced, healthy singer before you can even start thinking about adding distortion to your voice. Like I've only just started looking into more distortion type techniques for my voice, and I've been like training and like properly in singing for like 7 or so years. You know what I mean? But yeah, maybe clarify, because again, it's one of those things. It's like when people ask about falsetto, but they think that falsetto is just high notes, but it's not. Falsetto is a specific specific way to sing high notes. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay. Jackie's dipping out.
That's fair.
Which means we've run too long.
Yeah, for sure. Gonna wait too long.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she was like passing out and shit. So makes sense.
Okay, so that's I think Sam reminds me of Dow and Steph reminds me of a combination of Nick and Darcy.
Yeah, that's from Heartstopper. I would also very much disagree. Sam is not even remotely like Tao. Like
So
Tao is Tao is a like fucking poster child for ADHD and like neuroticism.
Oh god, yeah,
I'm not like him at all. If anything, one of Tao's lines is I talk too much and ruin everything, and that hit me like a fucking freight train, because I was like, oh my god, that's my lived experience.
Yeah, that's the opposite of my experience.
I would say Nick and Tao for myself, but no, Sam, not even remotely.
Talk like the sentence "I talk too much" or ruin something is nothing I would ever say.
No,
except if like someone else wrote it into a song and I was covering their song. You know what I mean?
Outside of these videos, Sam's a pretty generally quiet guy. You get into conversation with him. Yeah, for sure can talk, but not a not a Tao.
Pokerage Man says, I meant that I'll revise my French and teach you if you're
right.
He does not want to learn French now. Not now.
I spoke to a guy once when I was working at Oxford who had traveled a lot, and he spoke like 5 languages. And I was like, I was thinking of learning French. And he was like, learn Spanish instead. Learn Spanish because just more places speak it.
It's more valuable.
There's only a few places in the world that speak French, you know?
Steph saying, calm down about the cotton candy room made me cackle loudly. Yeah, totally.
Fair. Thanks.
My daughter's French friend did her HSC French in year 7. What? I don't really know what you mean.
She did.
She did her year 12 French
year 12,
in year 7 because she's French.
Oh, okay, maybe they adjusted it for her.
No, it's that's more like she's French, so why not just do all of the classes up to the final?
Oh, French. Or maybe they're French, but in an English-speaking country. and they took French as a unit.
HSC, high school certificate.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Specifically Australia.
So if they're French and they came here,
although Selena, clarify, because HSC, I would assume you mean it's New South Wales.
That's New South Wales.
Yeah, it totally is. Yeah.
Sure.
So she basically just did what you did, but all the way through year 12, all at one go.
Yeah, exactly. Just skipped ahead. They didn't give her the free pass that I got. I got an award and everything. I did not deserve it. I did no work whatsoever, not even once.
Do you have favorite horror movies? Chucky. The Chucky franchise as a whole, I love.
Yeah. The Babadook is my favorite horror movie.
I know the fact I have GERD doesn't help with my singing. The bit that keeps freaking me out is that my range is significantly smaller, though that's probably as a result of the GERD. See, I don't know what GERD is. And in terms of your
acid reflux.
To
be fucking up.
Oh, that would totally fuck up your voice.
Throat.
Acid reflux, absolutely, dude. Yeah, I mean, whatever you can do to balance that out, antacids, just shitloads of lettuce, whatever you can. No. Acid will totally fuck up your voice.
Yeah.
However, when it comes to your range, make sure you can actually sing comfortably in a mixed or falsetto voice. Again, comfortably and often before you talk about range at all. I think a lot of people get caught up in what their range is, but it's like, if you're not comfortably singing at the top of your range, how do you know what the top of your range is? And again, comfortably singing at the top of your range. You know what I'm saying? Does Australia have universal healthcare, like free therapy? Sort of.
No free therapy.
Not really. Kinda. Some stuff.
One thing that really irritates me is that therapy is not covered. You need to get it in like private health funds. However, it is covered in Medicare, which is our universal healthcare. It is covered in Medicare for government workers. So there's an acknowledgement that it is essential. You do need to just have people getting access to this, but not unless you work for them. You know, it really kind of gets under my skin. You know.
I was inquiring, grew up singing, so even in high school, college, and middle school, I was singing my heart out. I feel myself. UK, you know? I don't really know what you're. Cool.
Oh, you feel yourself when you're singing. It's just
you feel like you're. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, yeah, totally.
Fair.
Maybe it's the media I saw, but I love a good skater boy.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't know. I see so little media around skating. I don't know. I just do it. You know what I mean? Hey guys, just found your channel not too long ago, and I've been binge watching your commentaries. You guys do an awesome job. Love the videos. Thank you so much, Anna. Really appreciate it. Of course, all of the binge watching is like so helpful to our channel. Yeah. Dude, I'm autistic. It's different, but the struggle is real.
Yeah, I think he's talking about the dyslexia thing. Just like contact. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, this is the same thing for a lot of shit.
Have you seen Past Lives?
No.
No idea.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, sorry. Talking to each other. Okay, I once heard a voice teacher explain vocal fry as singing like Elmer Fudd. Yeah,
I'm hunting rabbits.
No, that's true. Yeah, do an Elmer Fudd voice, because again, if the distorted sound you're getting is coming as a result of relatively low effort and no pain, then that's correct. Why is it so dark where you guys are? I thought you were in Sydney.
Oh, we just have the blinds closed.
Yeah,
we use a light.
We've got to use proper lighting. Like, if we try to use natural lighting, it'll just fluctuate. It'll be terrible.
It's shit.
Yeah. Steph is talking about getting easy Italian at school. Yeah, HSC.
Yeah.
There you go. Talking to each other here.
Help bump up my ATAR.
I think that I wanted to study Spanish, but there was no Spanish classes that were near me. The French class was in a fun part of town. Fair enough. The most spoken languages in the world: English, Mandarin, Hindi, Spanish, and then French.
Yep. Oh, French is actually in the top. Well, top there 5. You go. Well, even so, Spanish still beats out. And
thanks to Maria. It's typically the studied linguist is the one telling us.
Yes, that would make sense. Yeah. It's still definitely the Spanish still definitely the better choice for someone who already speaks a romantic language to easily transition over.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the show A Series of Unfortunate Events or read the books? Did not read the books. I tried to watch the show, but it's not my style of media. You know?
I saw the first movie with Jim Carrey. Okay. And I don't think
I saw that, but I forgot about it.
Yeah.
I saw the first couple of episodes of the show with Neil Patrick Harris. And I was like, sorry, NPH, you're not enough to keep me in this show. I love you, man, but I was in French immersion, which through kindergarten through graduation, which means everything but English class was in French until high school. Then 2 out of 5 classes were in French. So I learned math in French first. Interesting.
Damn.
Are you in Canada?
Yeah, that would make sense.
That would make sense, yeah.
That would make sense.
So I also have both a French and English grad certificate. That's a good thing. And my parents don't speak French. Bummer. Oh, yeah, Canada. So bilingualism is really good. Yeah, like in Canada, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Just Hayden's in Victoria. I talk to each other. Cool. Thanks for the laughs. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which thing, but
Elmer Fudd.
Oh yeah. Fair. Steph executed the Elmer Fudd voice perfect. Yeah, it was good.
Thank you.
He has spent a lot of time with animated stuff. And working and doing voices for animated characters.
Apparently that's part of the because I got a lot of like autistic traits with my ADHD
thing.
That actually ties into mimicry and being able to like kind of conceptualize just how to replicate a sound.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a bit of a thing.
IK made me laugh. Gosh, I don't know what that means.
I know made me laugh. I think they're just agreeing with Punk Rock.
And
yeah, you're pretty much caught up.
Turning up right at the end. I know, yeah. Turning up right at the end, Nike. That's unfortunate. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming. Thanks for showing up.
Yeah, it's only French because Africa. What's only French because Africa? I missed something.
Sorry.
We try to keep up.
That's when I speak English. Some people consider Trinbagonian Creole. It's one thing like Jamaican patois. I think maybe they're saying that it's only considered a part of French rather than an African language because it's African, so it's going to be like racism basically.
Yeah.
I think if I'm wrong, tell me. But yeah.
Yeah, I need to look into that more. But yeah, cool.
Yeah, it would make sense if that's the case.
Yeah.
Paul Crush, for fuck's sake, go to bed.
Swear to God, dude, you need to get good sleep.
You stop doing this, man.
I swear,
we love you, but please.
We'll try to do a stream that's like in the nighttime for us at some point. It'll be bad for Americans because you guys will get up at like 6:30 or whatever. But,
we might just have to have a US stream and a everywhere else stream.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the biggest issue is that trying to do a stream that works comfortably for like India and America and Europe or whatever. It's just the middle of the night for us. It's like 3 a.m. So I don't know. We'll do stuff.
Yeah.
I do good impressions too. I've been told I do a good Catherine Hepburn and Milton from Office Space. I love Milton from Office Space.
I see the lanky saying Echolalia gang. Yeah, that's what it's called. Echolalia.
You've seen Office Space, right?
Office Space?
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Okay. Yeah, no, go back and watch that. Mid-90s. Fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely sleep time.
Well,
thank you so much for the last minute super chat, Keita.
Keita,
thank you for making videos and being kind people. I love the Toy Story video. Keep going. Always going to support you guys.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Much appreciated.
As you guys know, obviously we've kept you up to date. The last few months overall have been a rough time getting back to us, but the last 2 months specifically, we have seen some improvements, and a big part of that is due to all your support, guys. Both rewatching videos, super chats, anything. Yeah, the likes and comments, obviously, but we really, really do appreciate all the support because we'd be in a bad spot. Without you, especially me, because you can go back to. I just got a job. You've got the Vinny's thing, but like honestly, I don't know if I can get like another job outside of YouTube, and not just because I can only do. No, it's like a lot of the retail places at this point would like not hire me based on some of my history, especially because I've gotten fired from a couple of retail jobs for totally fair reasons, and I mean fair on their part for firing me, not my part for doing those things. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, YouTube is my thing, and I really, really, really appreciate you guys supporting me and us. Sorry,
me less so now. So,
your livelihood is a little bit less.
I'm just switching out, but I think it's just we're kind of finding that we sit a little bit on opposite ends of the spectrum, where I'm like, I'm finding I can't really do a creative thing as a full-time job because it just turns the fun thing into work.
You can't just
into a fun thing.
Like power through when it's hard because it ruins your enjoyment of the thing.
Yeah, pretty much. And then it just carries over, and it like, you know, it taints it essentially.
Yeah.
Whereas for you, you work with that momentum
to a degree. Yeah. Like for me, it's the kind of thing, well, I'll get tired and burnt out and I'll need time, but like the amount of time I need is not that much. And if like I try to take too much time and then I want to come back to the thing that I'm doing and like something is going to like ruin or get in the way, I'm like, nah, man, I'm just going to keep my rhythm, keep my momentum, just keep doing the thing I do forever.
Yeah, honestly. Me, on the other hand, if I overdo it, I will just never come back to it. I've got like plans that maybe I want to start a second channel, like solo channel and stuff. And I know that if I overdo it with this, it will just never happen.
He'll burn out.
I'll just never do it. I'll just be like, nope, never mind. YouTube is done forever now.
That's actually a big part of it. Yeah, like if we're not careful, he'll burn out on YouTube entirely and just not even want to do any channel. So over the next few months, we're definitely going to do our best to find a midpoint balance. And that might involve doing a few videos with Maria. We'll let you know. If
we'll let you know once
that's the case.
Yeah, we'll let you know once it's set in stone. But that's kind of the thought process that might be swapping out to like, you know, me and Maria kind of like trade off essentially, and she does some of these videos with Sam instead.
We'll keep you updated, but I need to make sure that we're posting a decent amount of content for the rest of the year. We have to make solid money. But don't worry, guys. Things are going well, and since we started to try intentionally doing more popular movies, things have improved. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, I know I got into a big side rant, but it's just like seeing another donation is like it matters to me. It really
it's a big deal.
It matters. It matters a lot. So yeah.
All right.
Anyway, we will see you hopefully next week for the stream, and the next video should be up in a few days.
All right. Catch you later, guys.
Have a good one.
Bye.